Cool. All right,
I was just
guys.
making small talk while you prepare.
No, I'm good. So Rick can protest here of what happened last game, kind of how I run my games. Um, so how I run my games is just going back over a couple of things. I do a lot of role playing stuff, um, and I mean, obviously, like general role playing stuff, yes, but also like conversations, and I try and be like somewhat realistic about like how this person acts. You know what I mean? It's not a scripted NPC in a video game that you can steal all their crap and sell it back to them. You know what I mean? Like my philosophy for playing any tabletop games is that there are consequences to whatever. Like everything you do, there's a consequence. It's either sometimes it's a good consequence, like all the townsfolk love you. Sometimes it's a bad consequence, like townsfolk hate you, or whatever. But there's there are always consequences. So what that means is that a lot of times unless you ask me for one, I usually don't prompt people to do like persuasion checks. I usually don't prompt people to do like stuff like that. Um, Sometimes like deception and stuff like that, or if a person's on the fence about something, then I'll call like, okay, make a persuasion check because like you had a strong argument, but they really don't want to do that, you know, and and just stuff like that. So that's one thing that people tend to complain about is the fact that like, oh well, I'm not very suave, but my character would be. Like, all right, so usually if you ask me for one, I'll probably do it, but my general rule of thumb is to just like talk it out, you know, and see where that goes. Um, in terms of content, I generally center a lot on the world is dangerous, so I like to use like random encounters and stuff for traveling, and I have traveling rules, which at any point you can ask me. There's a handout in there, but essentially what we're gonna do is it's hexes, so you can move 3 to 5 hexes a day. 4 is like a normal. 3 is slow, 5 is fast. Um, if you were being like stealthy, you would have to do 3, which is the slow rate. If you wanted to push yourself, that would be the 5. But you also get a penalty to wisdom checks in order to like perceive if their bad shit goes on. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the spiel on that. I do uh, I'm not like hypercritical about it, but I do stuff like rations and water and things like that, but not too like in trying to think. It hasn't been a problem in any of my games yet because it's generally only like a day or two travel between towns. For the most part, unless you're doing a big stretch, and usually then it would be an act of preparation. Like people would be like, "Oh, we have a cart and like a barrel filled with water," and like it's not it's a lot less intimidating than you would think, to do that stuff for the most part. Trying to think here. Yeah, so with the low magic thing, I do have masterwork equipment instead of magical stuff. Usually I save magical stuff for like this is like really rare. Um, for instance, I had that group that Rick was in again. Did you guys even find a magic item? It was just at the end, right? You guys were like level
Um,
7.
Eight. I think we were eight, and yeah, once we went into that tomb that killed everybody, I think that, or I guess the first magic item we found was that resurrection locket, which was
True.
I guess more of a story based thing than
Right.
a reward thing. But outside of that, uh, no, I think we maybe found magic items three times in the whole game. That magic locket, the item that we got to choose, that the traits item that was kind of key to us. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that, and then when we fought the Medusas, they were very all spread apart pretty far though.
Yeah, so generally speaking, my magical stuff is, like he said, it's very few and far between. A lot of times it ends up being powerful, or again, it's rare, so it's sought after. Um, People generally don't want to part with their stuff because it's not like, I think in normal D&D it's like super high fantasy. It's like you go to the the magic store and you there's like anything and everything, right? It's like a magic emporium. So what I do mechanically to offset that is D&D's mechanics actually are good. You don't even have to give people magic stuff pretty much the whole game until like maybe later on. Um, but I supplement it with the masterwork stuff, which for the most part gives you the mechanical benefits, like say a basic +1 weapon or +2 weapon or +1 armor or whatever. I envision that as just really well made armor, you know, or really well made, like a very well balanced sword or whatever. It's craftsmanship more than magic. Like what magic is +1? Like does it like is it like a homing sword that homes in on living creatures or something? Like I don't know. So I do that as it's just craftsmanship for the most part. Trying to think if there's anything else here. I I have a deep respect for the mechanics, like the D&D mechanics, and I would say the vast majority of the time I'm playing by the rules. And then every now and again, when it's a situation that you can't really foretell, like something is slippery or there's like an environmental thing, usually, I'll just kind of go with the flow, like what makes sense. I mean, I don't think I usually do things that don't make a lot of sense, you know what I mean? Like I might give you disadvantage on something because um, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example, but
Disadvantage if you're trying to climb out of a flat windowed surface and you decide to just let go.
right. And it's slick outside.
It's slick outside.
So
Disadvantage on midday.
usually, I never just do something on the fly because I feel like it. It's usually like, oh, this makes sense. Like you couldn't do this because like even though maybe technically mechanically your character can do it, it just doesn't make physical sense. Like you might not be able to shoot through 20 people in a corridor to get to the guy in the back, you know, if they're all packed in like sardines or whatever. Just stuff like that. So, yeah. So, are there any other questions or like things you were thinking of? Oh, I know you had said stuff about dragons and like vampires and just like mythical creatures and stuff like that. So, I suppose I'll start there. They are few and far between. Um, a lot of my games end up being very political, but again, I'm also flexible, so I can add in more stuff. It really is at behest of the group what they want to do, but because of the nature of it being low magic, um, those things are few and far between. Like you might have, oh gosh, I don't know, like a magical creature, and it's that one big magical creature, and then the rest of them are all like controlled or minions or partners or whatever. Um, and that might be like a big bad evil guy or something, stuff like that. It's not like you're going to be out and about and be like, boom, oh, we encountered another ancient dragon again. Like just the nature of A low magic and B um, not over the top in that regard.
Gotcha.
I pretty much imagine like for in character knowledge or whatever, you would pretty much know like what you know as as stuff for quite a bit of it. So like like anything that's about the Feywild, let's say. Like there's all sorts of rumors and like draw on real world inspiration, like old fucking folklore about like pixies who like steal children and like want to fuck with people and make them get lost in the woods and like just stuff like that. Like anything that you can think of like as old folklore in our world is probably like what your character would think. Some of it, some of it, most of it is probably like completely false, but some of it might be true.
Solid.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I think in one example, um, again going back to that same campaign that Rick was in, is they came across a troll, and I gave them like 10 rumors. I was just like listing off things that, like, oh, your character um, has heard, like you've heard stories of trolls, like when you were a child, like don't go out or I'll feed you to the trolls and blah blah blah, and it can be killed by running water, and you have to cut off its head, and you have to do this, and like I'll list a bunch of stuff, and some of those things might be true, some of them might not be true.
Cool.
So that's generally how I run the stuff. Besides that, do you guys have any sort of questions or comments or concerns?
How well mapped is this area? Like, we're looking at an overworld map, but like, are the maps in the world like good?
Are the maps in the world good?
You know what I mean?
Not really. Do you mean like,
Like,
are you
if
talking about like what scope of the world have I fleshed out already? Is that
no, I mean if like our characters are looking at a map, will they see all of the things that we see on this map?
again, yes and no. I put a lot of these things like towns and stuff on there, but like one hex is a decent area, so like you could be in the swamp here, right? And there could be a bunch of like tiny old decrepit villages that are in there, or like huts or hovels or whatever that like, you're not going to see that on the map. You know what I mean? Like this is a representation of that entire hex, you know?
Okay.
So, um you're I'm trying to think here. On the things that I have put cool markers on, like there's ruins right next to this town, like things that specifically pop out. Like, oh, there's like like patches of cacti, and there's a some sort of canyon that has a cave, a cavern in it, like stuff like that. Yes, like you'll see that, but I mean, you're not gonna see it like 12 miles away. You know what I mean? So I would imagine like you're going to this hex, and like, oh, then you would find those caverns, or you'd find this and that. So again, it's a representation of the 6 mile hex overall. But there's cases where you will not, you will find extra stuff, if that makes sense.
If we
Yeah.
did find something cool there, would there like later be like a marker there or something? Or maybe the map would change to show that we'd found something there?
I do have map markers. This is my first time using these hexes because they're super pretty and I wanted to use them. But the other style map, which we were all looking at it before, but just to bring us all back to this other map, it takes a couple minutes to load because it's all individual hexes. But these are a little more vague than the other one. So if you'll see, I put all those map markers on there. So there's like a map marker for these villages and whatnot.
I don't know. Something about this feels really homey.
So something about this map as opposed to the other one. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I said this map feels homey. Like, it's less pretty, but something about it.
It is a
that I
little more
like.
basic. That it does leave a little bit more to the imagination, and so there's pros and cons. I mean, I do like this map. Also, like I spent a lot more time on this map than I spent on ours.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
well, our map will grow in time.
but long story short, yes. If you come across something, I do have these map markers that I can plot down on there.
Cool.
Awesome. I don't have any I don't have any more questions for Dylan.
All right. Anyone else?
The only question I have, as far as spells, the way I set them up was I just got the 2 spells that you automatically learn each level. Is that kind of what I'm sitting with, since it is kind of a low magic based game?
Yeah,
All right,
it's
sounds
just
good.
the 2 per level. Yep.
Paid the spellbook tax.
I pay it with blood.
All right, I think we're good.
Felix, what are you
Let's
doing
eat
in the
it.
swamp?
That's a good question. Sprung on me. I heard there was different kind of magic there, more magic closer to nature, and I wanted to kind of investigate, see what I can learn about it, since I've been trying to add more to my spell book, become a little more powerful.
What's something magical and also monstrous that can be found in a swamp?
Yo, mom. Oh.
Hag?
Sick.
Hag?
There's a
That,
hag
Swamp
in the
hag.
swamp.
I don't know.
Jeez.
That might bring back horror stories for Rick.
Green hags?
Swamp
They
hag.
live in
Yeah,
swamps,
don't.
don't they?
I wouldn't
Good
worry
point.
terribly about the content. I mean, I suppose
Good point.
maybe it might be important for like why did you go to the swamp, but like if you heard a rumor that there was weird things, like especially like I said for you, like you're 250 miles away, like especially in this sort of setting, like that might as well be fucking across the earth, you know, like so you'll hear rumors and stuff, but you don't really know any details.
Oh yeah, this isn't for me. I'm kind of just following Pillow's. Wait, Pillow's name. Pillow's name. Rastar.
Yes.
Rastar.
I don't know how to do a
Yeah,
Dragonborn voice, so
I'm just kind of following Rastar, trying to recruit him, and also if he's hunting things, then that's a good challenge. So I'm definitely along for the ride.
Yeah, so also, blah 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 blah. You could be passing through. You could be like, oh, I needed to drop off a package. I needed to whatever. It doesn't like it matters and it doesn't. You know, because like you're all here right now, and then we're gonna do something. So just one thing, just for my convenience here, could you just enter your display name for this game as your character name? It doesn't have to be the full name. You can just do the first if you want, but it's just easier so I can remember because it'll take me a while to
down at the bottom.
yeah. So what you do is you go to the cogwheel in the not your
Oh,
character
got
sheet,
it.
but that bar, and it's like display name is blah blah blah, and then you can actually set. It doesn't matter at that point if you change your name. Okay. So, are we good?
Gucci.
Good stuff. Gooch.
Nice.
Yay.
So you are all here for your reasons. Yeah. Hold on. Nusha is a probably the largest town in Sud. It's kind of like the crossroads of the swamp, if you will. Um, any sort of settlement establishment kind of branches out from Nusha, and many people meet here to trade goods. So that when the goods come down the river, there's a village kind of somewhat to the northwest that picks up stuff from barges. And you'll see some people come down here. They'll meet in Nusha, and this is kind of like the market of the swamp. It's still not very illustrious, if you will, but it's functional. So you are all here for your whatever purposes. There was Edmund. Edmund is here as a guide for Makoso and Razdar, right? Or was it I can't remember who's linked and who's not now.
Mokosto and Razdar are buddies.
Okay, so they're the buddies. Edmund is the guide.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And Felix is. Are you with them, or you're just kind of like you're traveling there because of what you've heard?
I think I'm traveling there because of what I heard. I could be with them now. I guess it depends on their kind of goals now. Maybe I met up with them already. Just trying to get more information and kind of have a little safer party to be with in kind of an unknown land.
Okay. Fair enough. You guys have all met. We'll say, just for convenience sake, that you're all staying at the same establishment. You've been kind of partaking in the marketplace. Makoso and Razdar, you originally came here based off. Did you have something specific, or do you want me to come up with something?
Before that, can we go back to our map?
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I have to move you. Yep, there you go.
It's Razdar's hunt, so
I don't know where we would have exactly met at, but I know that the swamp is a great place to find beasts that threaten villages. So probably just going to Nusha to see if they, since the biggest town, would be going there to see if they needed any assistance with creatures threatening their town.
So, Razdar and Makoso, go ahead. One of you make. Okay, you can either both make investigation check, or one aids the other, giving them advantage. Your choice.
I got nothing. I'll give you some help, buddy.
So what's that advantage?
Yep.
Set to automatically roll advantage. So 15. Okay. Coming to Nusha, it doesn't take that long. Again, this isn't a huge population here. It's very there's a lot of stuff that's built on bridges over the really soupy parts on the outside of the town, and then kind of inside the middle of the town square, it's more like packed dirt that at one point may have been like a sinkhole that they've just continuously filled in until they've actually had something they could build over. And so as you make your way to this, you see many different stalls. People are doing a lot of trade goods, but then also a lot of just a lot of food. A lot of the bounty of the swamp is perhaps like meats from the wild animals. Actually, like a delicacy here is like a lot of insects and stuff are eaten here, and but some of the other things like certain types of fruit and any sort of dried goods, that's a lot of what you're seeing traded. So anyway, as you do this investigation, you begin asking around. You just kind of asking for work. You're like, oh, have you heard any rumors about things that have been around this area, things like that. You do get the normal, like, oh, there's gators and there's other sorts of creatures that lurk in the swamps that kind of inhibit people from making safe passage. So the information that you guys get is kind of in this region where the road falls off, kind of in between these two paths. The road is very spotty. Like there might be like a half mile or something where there's a road in between there, and then it's a mile or two of just like essentially swamp that's barely packed down or anything. You've heard rumors of anything. There's trolls, there's gators, there's all sorts of what you would associate with like bog style creatures. Lots of reports of people going missing, and through that, one person in particular to be a little bit more well off than some of the others. He deals in a lot of like textiles that they don't have here, so he's dealing with a lot of like silks and cottons and things like that. And he offers you both essentially, if you can clear the way and find a caravan of his that's gone missing, that he would reward you. So, and he does, they give you locations along the way of the map here where in the middle of this area where he thinks they might have gone missing, he puts like a couple of X's along where this route is. Edmund, I'm not sure how interested you are in, because I don't really know your character that well, so you've kind of done your job. You've like, okay, I'm the guide. I've done this. I got them to Nusha.
Yeah. Edmund would want to kind of guide them swamp as well if the guy's paying. I don't know if they're paying or not.
Yeah.
But also,
because we're not really.
But also, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we're not really in the point yet where we're like this is the starting area, so I'm not gonna role play everything. Just go ahead and again, Makoso or Razdar, because you guys are doing the bulk of the investigation here. Either both make a persuasion check or one aids the other.
Wait,
I got this. Wait, what are we persuading?
Essentially, how much money is he willing to give you?
All right.
Oh, the job giver.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. Okay, so hold on, these
Makoso's style of
rolls here.
Makoso's style of negotiating isn't fast talking so much as it is saying this is what will be, and not accepting difference.
Okay. So he brings out a sack onto the table, or like a stall. I imagine he's got like a stall, and he offers you. What was it? Sorry, you got a 19. Yeah, you got a 19. Okay, so he offers you 75 gold plus 20% of whatever you recover. 20% of whatever you recover.
Well, Rastar would say that since there's not really anything, any creature threatening the village itself, we don't really need to stay here. So, if we can probably take this.
Okay.
Makosa's gonna ask if the caravan was guarded when it was traveling. Like he has guards with his caravans, typically, or no? I would hope so.
Yes. So that was the plan. Due to the danger of this path, he did have guards. He had 4 guards that were guarding it, and it went missing. This was probably about 3 weeks ago at this point. He hasn't really been able to find anyone willing to go and really explore. And most of the people that are making that trek are desperate for resources. That's kind of a big thing just in this whole region, as resources are very scarce. So anything that people can get from barges off the river and distribute inland is a big deal. So a lot of the people trekking this path, he tells you that that's not a very good road, are just single individuals. They're not carts of, not large convoys, if you will. It's people that are moving slow and stealthily to try and not draw attention to themselves, so they can get supplies for their villages.
So it wasn't guarded, is what you're saying?
So it was guarded, but I was
Just
giving you
not
the
heavily.
background. He had 4 guards, but what I was saying is, it is a very dangerous road, especially the bigger the load, the more people involved, the more dangerous it ends up being.
Okay,
So I
I
was
get
giving
it.
you the background of generally the people that travel that road, he tells you, are single individuals or pairs that can move more subtly. And
Moving subtly sounds like coward.
and even then, people end up having to sacrifice their like beasts of burden and things like that. If they have a horse or whatnot, they'll have to kick them into the muck and mire, so that way they can escape dangerous route.
Excellent. Sounds like a worthy challenge.
Just so I know, Edmund, where are you on on the blah 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 on this map here? Like, where's your village or wherever? I don't exactly know the deets.
Probably it'd be a house, and it'd probably be further back in the swamp, not actually on a road. Probably like a midway point, like right here, like in the middle of the swamp.
Oh, you're a hermit?
Can you just ping that one more time?
Like just kind of in the middle of there. Yes and no. We were hermit like. Uh, but yeah,
Like
yeah,
here?
yeah, like there
Gonna make that a little smaller. Kind of like that.
in that area. Just
Okay.
kind of lived off the land. It was just me and my family, so it wasn't like a bunch of us, but just me and my family in the swamp made house on the swamp, fishing and hunting.
Okay.
Swamp made.
So
It was mostly due to that we were practicing. We didn't want to be too close to uh, people or civilized land or a place where we get caught, so we moved further into the swamp.
Okay. So with that being said, we'll say as they're investigating, there's not a whole lot of places to go in this town. So we'll say you kind of overhear their conversation about what they're trying to do, and just because you're familiar with the area, um, you know just how dangerous it is.
I'll inform them of that. And give shit. I'm trying to think of the damn word.
You tell us it's very dangerous?
I tell you, it's dangerous, and I like the word is it's literally hurting that I can't remember. Where I offer my services. Jesus Christ,
What the hell?
I couldn't think of the word offer, and I offer my services as far as guiding them the dangerous parts.
It is good that you show no fear.
And at that point, he kind of chips in the guy. Well, there you go. Now you are 3.
Star will take the sack of money and hand it to.
Oh, he doesn't give you the sack of money.
Yeah, that's payment after.
Yeah, that's payment.
After.
Yeah, that's payment before, or I mean, yeah,
Oh.
the opposite of before, known as after. So Felix, you have heard that what you're after is you have heard rumors of Nusha, and it is bordering some ruins that may or may not be interesting. But what you've kind of heard here is that up here in the north of Sud, um, there are some old ruins um, that you think may be of interest. So, as you're kind of in Nusha, you're doing some investigating just to dig up a little more information about, where are these ruins? Like, does anybody know anything about them? And one person does give you um, the information. Like, they essentially let you know where it is on the map, so you know, and you are kind of in the process of essentially looking for a way up there. You know it's dangerous. You know it's dangerous to go alone, things like that. And we'll say just based on that, yeah, I'll let you guys play it out how you want. But we'll say that Felix either overhears you or whatever Felix is doing for preparations, perhaps you um, catch on.
We're supposed to go north too, right?
Correct. So your goal
Okay,
is
good.
to. I'm pointing on my screen, and I'm just like, yeah, you guys can't see that. That's okay. So you guys were essentially ordered to go up and down this path, find the missing caravan, and clear the road as best you can. In the process, if you could bring back some proof that you've actually removed some threats, that he would give you the 75 gold plus 20% of whatever you recover in goods. So
Beautiful.
yeah. So gathering from that information, Felix, you know that that would be your best bet. Would be, although it's dangerous, to travel along that route. Um, Venturing off the very I'm trying to think of the word, shoddy route is just immensely difficult terrain. It's just complete muck and mire, and just like every time you walk, it's terrible. That's all the information you get. So you're thinking your best bet would be to follow this trail. I'm just giving you guys the opportunity if you guys want to decide how you meet up, if you care.
When I reach out for the gold bag, does the guy snatch it away real quick?
Yeah, at that he goes, haha, no friend. When you get back, then the payment will be yours, and 20% of what you bring back. You bring me proof, you get your gold.
So I think I'm gonna sit back until they leave, until they start heading out, at least away from that guy. So I'm gonna kind of just be hanging back towards, we'll say, like the trail entrance.
Right. Okay. You guys gather your supplies. You're doing that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna head out.
So Felix, you see, as you're kind of like inquiring about this road, and now you're kind of at a standstill, like you have to travel it. You're not quite sure exactly what sort of equipment you should have, how you're going to get there. You see three individuals that they appear to be getting ready. I don't know if you guys have any sort of like a cart or beasts of burden or anything like that. You can purchase them if you wish to.
Yeah, you said we have to haul merchandise, right?
Yeah, assuming though he had a caravan that had stuff. So, however you bring that back, whether you purchase like a draft horse of some sort, or figure out a way to carry it back with you in some fashion.
Yeah, probably cart and mule. Or
Yeah, sure.
whatever beast of burden they have around here. Camel?
They use a lot of mule here. Camel is in the swamp, not really so much.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we're in the swamp.
It's mostly mule. They do have some draft horses and mules, but camels are of course very prevalent out when in the sands and in the other areas. But even so, especially around the river, there's a lot of horses because it's a little more solid.
Makoso is incredibly confused when he suggests that we get a camel, and there are none to be found. Have not left desert area, so very unused to other beasts of burden.
Yeah. So, not a
Yeah,
problem.
we
Go
take
ahead and somebody make. Just because this is a center of trade, I'll say that it's not terribly difficult for you guys to find some stuff here. So, that being said, you guys want. Hold on here.
We
So,
want
a donkey or a mule would be 8 gold pieces,
yeah.
and a cart. A cart would be 15 gold pieces.
Who has the money for this?
Rastar does not.
So I overhear that conversation, them inquiring about who's actually going to pay for this donkey and everything else. I think this is the time that I approach the party, and I offer up, I can purchase the cart for you if you're heading down the road.
You're just going.
Wait, what do you look like?
Buy us a
I
cart.
You're a gnome, right?
I am a gnome. I'm dressed in like some a little bit dirtier, like a burgundy suit and top hat. You can look in the player, the tokens quick if you want.
I see that.
Cute little guy.
And what would you have of us, half man?
Well, I hear rumors of some ruins that are to the north, and I would like to get there. And you guys will be traveling up, I'm assuming, down the road, so I can at least make part of my journey with you. I'm clearly not dressed to be living in this area.
Makosa looks you up and down. Are you weak or strong?
Not all strength is in our muscles.
I never said that. Be you weak or strong?
Actually, let me.
And at this, you see the cart vendor. He's just like very dirty, and a lot of the people here are just because of the nature of being in a swamp. It's just like very gross. It's like the streets are muddy and stuff like that. And he's like, he's like coughing and fidgeting, kind of like very uncomfortable, I suppose, as you guys are debating this.
Oh yeah, no, don't care.
Oh yeah, I don't really care. It pays. If you want, just take your stuff and go.
Calm your tongue, merchant. We inspect our new comrade. I don't know if this voice is going to end up being an Argonian or Russian. But
Oh my goodness.
And then
It wouldn't be the first to try. Trust me.
I know.
So is the gnome weak or strong?
So I look over to. Are there any rocks or anything around this area, or is it just all tree and swamp?
No, I mean, of course, yeah. They're covered in usually a thick layer of mud, but it doesn't take you that long. Like, you kick around, and we'll say like a foot or two away from you, you see like a palm-sized rock that's kind of like half in the muck.
I blast it with firebolt.
As you
Oh
do
my
so,
goodness, you're busting out magic.
you see the very uncomfortable merchant all of a sudden go to, oh, what the and just everybody's like, oh, as you it just as all like the pieces of muck just plop around, and it kind of like covers a little portion of the cart and donkey, not like a bunch but just a little bit, and a couple pieces just plop onto the various surroundings. You see essentially a small crater where some of the earth has been singed, so it's like cracked mud, and you just see a little bit of steam kind of rising up off of it.
Let's see.
I see the disgust or the whatever the face is that the merchant's making. I say, do you want your goods or not?
He is strong.
He is mighty. And then I pick up the gnome.
Merchant, take your price.
I've already told you my price. Eight for the
Oh, I
mule
said
and
take. I said take, not name.
I'm going to pick up the gnome and set him on one.
Yeah, I was saying like.
right.
Our friend, he pays.
Right. All right. So
Does
be
the
it.
gnome
And he
not
kind of like
object to being picked up?
itches under his chin like ugh. He like hawks a loogie.
The merchant does?
Yeah, just kind of more not like in disrespect or anything, just like just something he's doing.
Does Felix not object to being picked up?
I would not object. But we got to pay for everything first, right? We didn't do that. You said it was 7 gold?
8 gold. 8 gold for the
I didn't hear
mule.
what you said.
8 gold for the mule and 15 for the horse. For the cart.
How much are your goods worth to you?
I'd say about
What?
8 gold for the mule and 15 for the cart. More or less. Right, you guys gonna pay or you gonna move along?
Like, I can give you 16.
Makoso
You're
takes
going to
out.
be clearing the road for you.
Well, can't say I don't really do much business up that way. It's mostly to the river and back. Sorry.
Makoso
If
takes
anything.
the 5 gold pieces out of his pouch, adds it to the stack.
And he just holds out his hand as you guys collect the coin. Well, if anything, right, you break your cart, it's, well, business security now, isn't it?
So you don't think we'll come back?
Suppose I don't care much. Come back, don't come back. As long as you buy the cart.
Well, that's good enough for me. I hand him the rest of the gold.
Safe travels. As you kind of go, he gives like a half-assed wave, and you see he's like counting the coin again to make sure. All right.
So now we can hit the road. Should we do introductions to one another? What we're looking at?
Yeah, go ahead. You guys do what you wish.
Does anyone want to start, or shall I?
You start since you
We'll
brought
start
it up.
in the order. We'll go in the order of roll 20. So Edmund, Makoso, Felix, Razdar. Just to keep it simple.
Okay.
Anything specific we wanna, or do we just wanna introduce our names?
Name.
What
I was
people look
thinking
like.
name and description. Like, we'll learn backstory about each other when we get in. When we like talk to each other, you know.
Edmund, of course, he's an elf. He is not a large guy, as elves usually are not. He's fairly tall, though. He's actually about 6'2". He's pretty tall, but he's very lanky, very skinny. Actually, only weighs about 130 pounds, so he's
Oh,
very tall and very skinny. You see, he's very dark skinned as well. Um, he has a short haircut, kind of side shaved, low, fluffy mohawk to the back. Uh, I think pointy ears, of course. He usually wears uh, cloth a lot of clothy clothes, flowy, just because the heat of the desert, flowy clothes. So he's usually wearing flowy clothes, something to protect his head. Uh, but in the swamp, he rolls up his pants legs pretty high, so he's wearing like rolled up to his knees and like some sandals, something like that. So he's tall, long legged, skinny legged guy, and capris and sandals, um, and like a loose flowy blouse like shirt.
see, carrying an iced coffee with him,
Yeah, carrying out.
carrying some
Yeah,
moonbucks.
iced caramel macchiato, bro. No, yeah, that's pretty much his description.
And I'm up.
Yep.
Okay. So Makoso is a fair-skinned human male. Stands about 6'2" So not a giant, but a little on the tall side. Wears is very rarely seen without his chainmail and a large warhammer in one hand, and a shield emblazoned with what looks like three raindrops on it. So has mid-length, sort of shaggy dark hair, looks very unkempt. Facial hair, beard, no mustache, but sort of like sort of rocking the mutton chops. He's reminded by rations for water skins. Oh yeah, always when you enter town,
Yeah.
restock supplies. Um, he does not smile often. Sort of grim line set in his face. He seems to be in his mid-20s, so young, but old enough that he's seen a bit of the world. Humans live so fast after all. Strong, seems perpetually as if he's prepared, seems perpetually tense, does not seem to relax, as if ready for a fight at any moment. So carries that tension with him. That's about all I got. And besides the armor, stays in mostly muted colors. Doesn't seem very flashy. I'm
My
out of
turn?
here. Yeah,
Thank you for your wonderful book report.
thank you.
All right. My character's Felix. He's a gnome about 3 feet tall, weighing a whopping 40 pounds. Looks to be about middle aged. It's about 200 years old. He's got tanner skin, some brown hair, wearing a burgundy, pretty worn suit with a top hat. And you can see just by the muck and everything else on my shoes, and they're kind of worn down, that I don't necessarily care about appearance, but I do at the same time. I'm wearing a suit after all. But as far as taking care of it, doesn't really matter. I think that's about it. I have the quarterstaff on me. It twists up into a small little, I guess, some orb ornament almost. That's what I'm using as my focus, my arcane focus. And let's see, I carry just a backpack that I have on my back. Other than that, I think that's about it.
Okay. Let's see. Well, Rozdar is a blue dragonborn, also standing at about 6'2", but I rolled for my height, so it's kind of weird that we're all exactly the same height.
I am half of
Oh
your
my goodness.
Not you.
Makosa goes through a growth spurt and is now 6'4".
We can't all wear the same dress. It has to change. He's wearing simple robes, sun beaten, kind of faded. Carrying much besides a backpack and a short sword and a well-worn scabbard. I don't know how well you guys are at telling how old Dragonborn are, but he doesn't look young. What was that?
I clicked a button. Ignore it.
He's got a few scales that have been torn off and have kind of regrown, so it's not all blue. It's kind of some of the scales are white. Most of the time, he kind of his stance. He's not standing at like attention usually. Usually, he's just like observing people with a curious look, as if he doesn't understand what they're doing. That's it.
Okay. And with that, the ragtag bunch of now adventurers begin their way through the swamps. So, what I'm going to do here is, so you guys are definitely moving at slow pace with swamp and with this stuff, which means today you can move 3, and that's okay. So if
I'm
you
gonna
go,
guess we already have like food and stuff for the donkey and everything, like some dried hay and everything
yeah,
in there already.
yeah, it comes with it. Again, like I'm not super meticulous about it. I just, if people are thoughtful about it, like, oh yeah, I gotta go and yeah, I throw in this much for for oats and whatever. There's actually like legit stuff that tells you how much it costs, but it's like minute. It's like 5 copper or something for a day's worth of oats and bullshit.
I would probably
So
get a few extra water skins and just throw them in the back of the cart.
yeah, sure, man. You can
Like 5.
5 extra. I don't remember how much a water skin costs off the top of my head. 2 the whatever. It has all that stuff in the
Google.
player's handbook. Yeah, so you guys Google it. Just Google like 5e this stuff. We'll
I
say
already have one.
yeah, so water skin, essentially you would like, I think technically you would have to fill a water skin twice a day, but I'm not the
2
super
silver
anal about it.
pieces.
But yeah, so we'll say like 1 water skin just for ease will last you 1 day. I usually do with the travel rules. This is kind of unfortunate because it's all desert because you guys want to do desert. Especially once you get out past maybe where it's a little bit cooler along the river and stuff, extreme heats of the desert, you need twice as much water.
Hardcore.
Why do we do this to ourselves?
I don't know, but here in the
We wanted to
swamp,
have fun.
yeah, here in the swamp, it's very humid, like, so it's a little less dry.
We fill our water skins from the air.
From the swamp water. Just bend down.
You never know. But
Roll to contract swamp disease.
Delicious.
swamp tables. Okay, so you guys head out. So you all have, you can move that marker around. So actually, go ahead and move that. You guys can move 3 hexes today, and what I'm gonna do is, so every time somebody moves a hex, roll a
I'll roll.
d6. Roll a d6. So
I'll roll it.
Let's go east.
yeah, so let's go
Long
ahead
road.
and so just so you know what the rules are, every hex somebody rolls a d6. On a 6, it's an encounter. An encounter could be beneficial, it could be like a monster, it could be like what you would think of as an encounter. So encounter isn't always bad. It could even be a locale that you find or whatever. So yeah, and normally let's just go again just where the roll 20 order is. So it'll start with Edmund and then Makoso, so on, so on.
Cool. So which ping the direction we're heading in?
East.
I'll move. Or just move.
Yep.
Of course.
All right. Yeah, boo. 2 owl bears and a troll. No!
Outside the town?
Flashbacks!
Outside the town.
I'm not.
All right. So, hold on here. I just did some stuff here. Okay, so you're traveling.
This is fate.
Yeah.
This is
I-
kind of
okay.
like
I wanted to
a
get-
mix of.
I wanted to get my 6 out of the way early.
Okay, so with that, you guys are traveling along. You're not that far outside of town. It's maybe what you were doing was kind of in the morning, so this is maybe around lunchtime. It's like you guys are just about thinking, like it's time. Like let's breathe the mule. Like let's sit down, maybe have a ration or whatever, and you know what? Just take a quick break. And as you guys are settling down to do that, you hear some like weird, like cracking and crunching noises before hearing like this, and just this weird growling stuff. You hear some cracks that seem like they're, I don't know, maybe 100, 150 feet off or so, and before you hear some sort of like humanoid cry out, like ah, like it just gets cut short, and at that you hear another one like, oh fuck, and just like this as somebody's making their way through the muck.
Well, that does not sound good.
Our star will stand up and walk towards the sound of the noise.
All right, so as you look up, go ahead and anybody who wants to go ahead and make a perception check. And with that, you see this dude that you can see the dude, and he is just like he looks to be like a half orc or something. He's like very bulky build, and he's just like just high footing it. He's trying to make his way, but it's very mucky. He just looks at you guys and help! And okay, so yeah, you see it all day. I'll wait till everybody rolls their perception here.
Sad day.
Proceed, shut up.
All right. Oh, Makoso.
Oh, he sent a message. He says, "Internet cut. Give me a second. Got a cycle."
No problem. Well, we're gonna keep going
Couple minutes
because we already
Cool.
started late, and then he'll come in. We'll say that he was too engulfed, like he was like eating or whatever, like he just didn't get back in time. Plus a nat 20. So what you see, Edmund, is you look just beyond, and especially because you're used to this region, so you kind of know what to look for. But you do see something that's a little strange. It looks to be what you think is a serpent. Because you see like the telltale sign of the tail slithering, and you can see through the muck and the mire what looks to be like a humanoid head, and out from that you see like 2 sheens of what looks to be a sword, like some sort of brass and or copper sort of material, bronze actually, not brass, and it's gaining on this dude really fast.
Not a fucking.
And you actually go ahead and make a history check, Edmund.
Ooh, it's not bad for a straight D20.
Okay, so you believe, you can't recall what they are, but you've heard rumors. It's kind of like things you tell your children at night: don't go into the swamps, because the lizard people will get you. And with that, you do again see like this telltale, like serpent-esque head, and torso, and then the body it slithers down into a snake, but it's very much in the muck. It's kind of like stealthing at this point, if you will. It's trying to stay subtle, but just with your perception,
But I
yeah. So just because you scored really high in your perception,
Yeah.
I'm gonna place everybody on the map here. You guys can all see this map, right? You're good.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah.
Yup.
So place yourselves somewhere in like the bottom left area.
How far away from, since I can see them? About how far away would I gauge them?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody put
Oh.
themselves down, and then you'll
Yeah.
see. I do that so you can't be like, oh, in perfect positioning. 'Cause
So let's see. Where was the orc coming?
Wait, which way are we walking?
this is just a generic kind of like swamp map. So you're coming from here, and the sounds are kind of coming from across the way here.
Where do I get my token from?
I'll say since I had
Yeah.
a good advantage, I was up here on this rock.
You
I'm
can
trying to.
you can drag and drop from your character sheet. So like if you go into the journal where you can see your blah blah blah, you would click to get on your character sheet. You just hold and drag it over and drop it onto the map, and it makes a token. I say makes a token, but it makes whatever token you set. I already gave you one, so yeah, there you go. So, oh yeah, I've got to go over here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to position it for whatever reason the stream won't go left enough for me to see your shit. Alright, good enough. So, put this turn order here. Boom. Okay, sorry. So, you see coming from about where this tree is, we'll say, that's where this dude comes from. Trying to look for a generic token, but fuck it. Alright, whatever. Behind him.
Where'd my music go?
I don't know. Where did your music go? There we go. Alright. That's what I want. It's not giving me the right shit here, so sorry. I just bought the monster manual, and it's I used to keep it all separate. But long story short, it's taking longer than I thought it would. Okay. Alright. Yeah, sorry about that. So,
Whoa, that thing's cool.
Uh-oh. Snake Man.
I like him.
The
Recruit him.
snake.
I bet he's strong.
Recruit him to the tribe.
I mean, if he is strong and willing, sure.
what in the heck, y'all? First, it's not doing my shit.
Huh?
Grr.
Something not working?
Yeah, my I have an API that it rolls everybody's initiative, and it's like it's like real slick. For whatever reason, it's not working. I don't know why.
So we could just roll it. It's fine.
Only peasants roll for themselves.
Yep.
Same, really.
There we go. Sorry, it normally goes like way faster than this because it's normally one click and it's done. But
Fucking roll 27.
I know, what the heck. I bet there's a way to redo, like restart the API sandbox from within the game. I just don't know how. So I had to back out of the game long enough to do it. Maybe. Sorry, but you'll see how cool it is now. Hopefully. Essentially, what I can do is I can select everybody and hit one button. It rolls initiative. It organizes it. Does the whole 9 yards. And it's usually as easy as me just going Control A, hit the button. And that's why I was like, what the hell? Why isn't the button working?
Mm.
All right, whatever. I'm kind of over it now. Oh, hold on. Oh, all right, there we go. Well, crap. There we go.
Whoa!
Yeah, I don't know why the hell it did that, but now it's working. It's just up and it's working now. So, okay. Well, shite. So.
Terrible.
So, anyway, you see this guy is kind of like in the muck and mire over here. I am going to give this guy this difficult terrain. So he gets about here. And anyway, so the only people I'm letting go on this round is him, the monster, and Edmund, just because of his perception check. So, yeah, this guy no problem. Doesn't seem to affect him that much. All right. All right.
Ooh.
So, you see the first just cut into the back of this dude as he's like, "Oh, help, help!" And the second, like he just like instinctively like, whew, like he does kind of like a barrel roll, like to the ground. He ends up mostly like slapping to the muddy ground, but it's just enough so the second swipe goes right over him. So with that, let's go ahead and go to Edmund.
Gotcha. So I see this, and I see the creature looking at it, chasing him. This is why I hate the fucking swamp. Never wanted to come back here. And I'll reach out in the creature's area and do something. Set.
So it's a snake person, and what's the other one?
The other one is like an orc. Like, looks like to be an orc or a half orc. One of the two. Certainly orcish descent. It's kind of hard to see because it's like it's all happening in a second. Okay.
Oh, nice. It tells you how many spell slots you have. Good,
Yeah.
because mine usually doesn't count down, and I have to remember always how many that I have. So that's helpful. So I need a strength save from
All right.
the
So
Snake Man.
So where are you positioning it from?
Let's see. I'm gonna position it at and behind him.
Using the ruler, can you go ahead and do that? I just want to make sure you have enough room where you're not going to get the orc.
Right. So let's see. Starting there. That's 10 feet now. How do you use this guy? Snap to. Yeah. Yeah, do a box.
Was it 20-foot cube?
Yeah.
So
How do you do that?
I straight up drew a box, but
Drew it.
He druid a
I feel like
box.
my lines wouldn't.
this is good enough. Okay, so if you want to get like right here, just look at the middle, see if you can get in the middle of that box in 90 feet. You should be able to.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really all. I just wanted to verify that you had enough to do that. So, cool. All right, so he's going to make a strength save. Is that what you said?
Strength
Is it
save. I should.
strength? Okay.
Strength. I should have just got that half work too. He's a half work.
Okay, yeah, so actually, no, he doesn't make it. So,
Oh, no.
you can see as they,
Oh, shit.
because he's along the muck and he like just jumps out, so he's like, as he goes to do it, and he hits this guy as you cast out, and you can see from the muck in my like, as all these vines come up and they curl around at first his tail, but then they work their way up to his body until he's like, and it pulls him down into the muck. His face is kind of like half squished into the muck. And with that, it's this guy's go, and he's just going to disengage here. Entangled, they're restrained, but he can still take it. So yeah, he's going to disengage and run away. And with that, he's just like, thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Uh-huh.
This guy uses action to free itself. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and do that. He struggles against it, and with that, okay, so he just and he like writhes out. And you just see as the snaps, the tendrils and vines just like as they all snap away, and he begins slithering. Yeah, that was his action. So 1, 2. And he begins slithering after all of you. All right, and now everybody is in the turn order. They're all good to go. So, all right, man. So
I'm up.
go. Yep.
Is river difficult terrain?
Yes.
Okay. So Makoso is going to take out his warhammer and brandish it. And is going to ask aloud, "What's going on here?" And I got
I should point it out. I'll say that I pointed this out, by the way, just in case, since I actually saw it.
Yeah, so and they see this, so like that's why you got to go around first, so you have that few seconds, and that's where you casted the spell. And of course, once you cast the spell and they see the struggling and you're pointing it out, they're like, "Whoa!" So yeah, they see it.
Mako's gonna ask, "What's going on here?" And does anyone have answers, or is no one responding?
I mean, right now it's on. You'll see on their turn.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you rush.
Peace. And he says peace while like tapping his warhammer.
To this half snake,
Both of
kind
them.
of half man creature. Yeah,
Both of them.
This orcish gentleman, he's just like dashing past you. You can see he has like a big gash in his back. And hold on, I'm actually going to. Where's my music? There we go. There we are.
Need a swamp.
I forgot. I never did the battle music.
Okay, so I'm gonna ready an action for swinging my for a little booming blade action.
All
if
right.
the snake tries to attack me or the orc.
Okay. If so booming blade, is that a spell? Felix.
That is a cantrip.
Okay, it's a can. Yeah. Okay, so no problem. So you ready it up.
So, calling for peace, tapping a glowing hammer.
All right, Felix, your go.
All right, I'm going to use minor illusion. I'm going to create a bard cage, or the illusion of a bard cage around that orcish-looking guy with spikes sticking out of it.
Okay. With and it's just minor illusion. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna.
How big is this orc?
What seems to be the problem out there?
It's half one.
And I think that's it.
All right. So you've trapped him in it, or you just made a wall, so like to interpose him and the Yuan-Ti.
Yeah, it's more just try to make them, I guess, disengage from combat, really. So it just looks like there's a barred wall around, so you can still see them, but it looks like steel or something thicker, something strong.
Are you saying barbed wire? Are they saying
Not barbed wire, just like a barred cage. Like think of a jail cell almost, except wrapped over the orc with spikes coming off of the cage.
So I thought you were saying like a bard's wall, wall of singers.
Okay. So on his go, he will speak to you. All right, Razdar, your go. Oh, Felix, you can also move if you wish.
Let's see. No,
Razdar, go
I
ahead.
think I'm good here.
Alright, well, seeing as this is really my first chance in a long time to actually help anybody since I've gotten out of the academy, I'm not really gonna let this one go to waste. So let's see. I'm gonna do Step of the Wind and do dash and move 10 feet for the difficult water.
All right.
Let's see. I got like 80 feet of movement now.
Remember, none of us are attacking anyone, so
Somebody's already been attacked.
Yeah.
Well, there's not really time to talk right now, so.
Oh no, I was just saying that out of character.
Now I'm using.
Don't you dare influence his character.
Okay, deal.
Going up to the monster. Was it running up to him? What does it look like he's doing? Is he still chasing?
Yeah, I mean, this is all happening at the same time, but yes, he is currently he was charging forward and you just charged up to met him. He seems to be aggressive.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make a monk attack roll.
Not a problem. I'm gonna cut you guys some slack here, but I do have the timer set on the turn. Just because it's like the first time, right? And a lot of people haven't even used minis here, so.
Is it my turn?
No, sorry.
Oh,
Ooh.
Okay, yeah. So it just it goes wide. You just and it you just barely touch it, and like the outside of his skin is covered in just like muck, and it like slides off. It's slick.
Well, if I already did Step of the Wind, which is taking dash as a bonus action. I can't do Flare of Blows too, right?
Correct.
Right.
So and also mark that you used a key point.
Got it. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay, Edmund, do your go. Just so you guys know, I was doing it, but if you click on your token, there's an end turn button.
all right.
Nifty.
Not doing anything.
Yeah, Edmund, your go, brother.
I know I'm moving. I was counting my spaces. There. Bonus action. Healing word to the orc. It looked like he got hurt.
Yeah, so he's got a slash on his back. Okay, so you see it begins to stitch itself up together. Yeah, healing. Without elaborating too much, it makes scar tissue pretty much when it heals. So.
Oh, I'm not saying yeah for I know that. No.
There's a little bit of like bloody patch on his shirt, of course, still, but.
And then for my action, we already attacked it, right?
He attempted to, but you just saw like as he went to go punch this creature, it like rolled under and like his arm just kind of like was it just slid against the outside of its slippery exterior.
Gotcha. Okay. Damn it. Under the snake, I'm going to.
He might have reason to attack the orc.
It's true. Fuck it. I'm just gonna.
Okay. Produce
Love it.
flame. So.
Work at him.
What's the roll up top? Is that the attack roll?
That's the attack roll.
Okay.
God,
So it's an
not the
18. So it's okay. Yep. Okay. So
that's
with that, okay, you just see it begins to singe and again like crackle some of the mud that's on his body from slithering through the swamp. It recoils instinctively. It doesn't seem to do a terrible amount of damage, but it's something.
Mm-hmm.
This orc here, just thank you.
He's in a cage.
True. That's
Huh?
true. That is true.
Is it what?
He's in a cage.
Oh.
He can move out of it if he wants. It's up to him. It just depends on
Yeah,
if he
it-
knows it's an illusion or not.
Yeah, I can't remember if you had linked the whole thing on his on what minor illusion is. I don't remember if there's a DC or whatever, but it's not a very
Yeah, I
impressive.
have it pulled up here.
It's like
The
a very
creature-
simple illusion.
It'd be an intelligence save if it was.
So it says here, if a creature uses its action to examine the sound or image, the creature can determine that it is an illusion with a successful intelligence check or an investigation check against your spell save DC. If a creature discerns the illusion for what it is, the illusion becomes faint to the creature.
Okay, so just based
right now
on
it looks
his.
sick to him unless he uses his action.
Yep, which he did, and he got a 10, so that's not enough to beat your DC. So he's like, you can let me out. Don't. And he's just kind of like, putting his hands up against this creature, like, oh. This thing now seeing you guys as aggressive. It makes just these weird hissing sounds and pathetic creatures. And he kind of circles around you, Razdar. And then he goes ahead and he makes some sort of call out that I don't think anybody here understands. Does anybody here
Snake?
Does anybody here speak Abyssal?
No.
Okay, so it lets out just this weird guttural language, and then he takes 2 strikes at you, Razdar.
This.
And one shot.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. So the first one, you just you quickly parry and duck under it. The second one connects. You take 9 slashing damage. As it kind of scrapes across your abdomen. Koso.
Makoso looks at the orc. Stay put. And
He
will...
gives you a weak smile, kind of okay, sure. I'm in a cage.
step up to the snake. What is this orc to you? Do you have right to his blood?
We have rights to all blood.
At this, Makoso frowns, shakes his head sadly.
Am I familiar with the Yuntings in this squad?
You've only heard about them like I said, to scare children, oh, don't go out in the swamps, or they'll nab ya, but no. As far as you are aware, it's just folklore. Even as you've been there your whole life and you've never seen them.
So Makoso is going to say, the right to blood is earned through duty, and is going to cast Hex on it.
Okay. Yep. So what are you choosing as your shish kebab?
It will have disadvantage on strength checks.
Okay, so strength. You got it?
And then I will attack with my Warhammer. Booming Blade.
Okay.
17 to hit.
That hits.
Ah!
Sorry,
So it does
I'm probably gonna take off the. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna take that off for now because it's once we get used to it, it won't be so bad.
Alright, so it's going to do that. Plus an additional 1 damage for Hex. So it'll be 9 damage, and also the Booming Blade status. where if it moves, it will suffer additional 1d8 thunder.
Can you just link that so I can see what the exact thing is? Just want to make sure. So yes.
Oh, I put it in my like
attack
description.
moves before the end of next turn, deals that. And that's a cantrip that allows you to attack and do that. Oh.
Booming Blade from Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide.
It does. If they move.
Oh, if they move.
Move as in like from hex to hex, not move as in do anything.
There we go. Okay, it took the timer off. Yay.
Okay. So
okay, sorry. I was trying to make sure that was done.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so
and
8 damage, and does it need to?
9 damage. It was 8 plus
before
1d6 for the hex.
If it moves before the end of the next turn, okay, then you deal 1d8 thunder, and there's no like con or anything to prevent that. It happens. Nope. Okay, so
right. Like the counterplay is don't move, just fight it out.
Okay, great. Yeah, so you did 8 damage, and
9.
then you have to add the 1d6.
9. I rolled the 1d6. Wait, can you not see that?
I was doing my own other stuff, so.
Oh,
I was trying to fix the stuff.
Yeah. Do you see the roll 1d6 for the hex?
Hold on. So, Felix, did you hit end turn?
No, I didn't. I don't know what happened there.
Okay. It's also, if you hit the done in there, it'll fuck it up too. Okay, so, yeah.
Maybe that's why my backslide clicked.
Felix, your go.
Alright, I'm going to run up to the orb. And I'm going to crouch down by the cage, give him a little chuckle, and, well, I can let you out of here, but you got to tell me what the snake wants. And then I will end my turn. Just crouch down by the orb.
Alright. Razdar, your go.
Okay. I'll try and give him an open hand shove under the chin. Monk attack.
Absolutely. Okay. Unfortunately, this creature's just very, very agile. He just like ducks out of the way. It seems to be almost like an invertebrate, because obviously he's a serpent. So.
True that. I'll do flurry of blows.
Okay. So go ahead and make 2 more. Mark off another key point.
Gotcha. Well, one of them hits.
Okay, yeah, roll the damage. Usually I have it set to auto roll damage, it just makes things smoother, but if you click on the martial arts thing, it'll do the damage.
Like, click on it and
the letters that say martial arts plus 4, that's a hyperlink. Just click it.
That's what I was clicking.
Yeah,
in the chat box.
In the chat box, under where the roll to hit is.
Oh.
Normally the settings are supposed to be auto rolls the damage, so you don't have to do that. But okay, so you do 6. Plus 4 is irrelevant here because that's assuming you crit, but you didn't because blah blah blah. So you do 6. So yeah, so it ducks across the first one and just isn't quite agile as you come by and just poof. You get it like right under the jaws.
I'm gonna do the hand technique and make a strength saving throw or be pushed away.
Okay. Does that
will
require...
not trigger it. That will not trigger Booming Blade, by the way.
It will not.
It will not because forced movement does not trigger things like opportunity attacks.
Correct.
So it will not trigger this.
In that case,
But just remember, so you use Flurry of Blows, so if any of these things do not have, like if they require you to do a bonus action, so just be careful, there are certain ones that have bonus actions attached and some that don't.
Well,
I can't remember if that one is or not. I'm
you
just...
want me to, like, link it?
No, it's fine, like, if I just want you to be aware.
Okay, well, these are all, like, the third level, like, starting ones. So I'm gonna make it so it's, make it do a dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay. Dexterity. Okay, so no, it's prone.
That would be my turn.
Okay, mark off another key point. I believe that's all your key points, right? I think it's one per monk level.
I don't have to use a key point to get overnight technique.
Yeah.
It happens. If I hit somebody with Flurry of Blows, I get to do an extra.
Yeah, that's an on-hit thing that comes with it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good.
It's like 3 choices you can make and choose to do one of 3 things or something.
Right.
Oh, my turn. Cool.
Let's go, buddy.
I'm not gonna throw attack at him because a disadvantage for me for all range spells. So he's on the ground. I'm gonna try this. Unconcentrate and reconcentrate. Entangle.
Okay.
If you want to move the
Yep. I shall.
square. And we'll go across here.
Okay.
You want me to draw a new square, or are you going to move this one?
Nope. I was looking at something.
Oh.
Okay. So it has
Nope.
disadvantage on this check, correct? Because it's strength. So that one.
It does not actually, because the first one is a saving throw.
Oh, it's saving throw, not check. You're right. No, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is. Yeah. So it is able to like slither its way around the entangle, but I believe it's still difficult terrain. Can't remember.
It
It
is.
is. That's why I want to move it over. I want it to be across here.
Okay.
So move it a whole.
So like
you
that.
can move it over two squares. There. Perfect.
There you
So
go.
it's still difficult to move it across there. Yeah.
All right. All right. Is that your go?
Done.
All right. So with that, he goes to Felix and he kind of crouches down in the cage. I'll say just because he's crouching down, he goes to like put his hands on the bars to crouch down towards you, and he just like falls forward on his face. He's like, oh, and so he realizes that it's an illusion, but in the same kind of action, he turns to you and I don't know what it wants. It was just me and my partner. We were making our way through the swamps. Came from Oban. I don't know what it wants. It just get it away from me. And he's just like up against the rock. Like he looks generally horrified. And you see as he kind of whispers to you, he's like, I didn't think they were real. And he's just like at a loss for words, pretty much. And he actually like takes like a step around the like. He's kind of like technically on your square as well. He's just kind of like interposing himself, like he can't believe what's going on right now. Okay, so he's going to use half his movement to get up, so he's not prone, of course. And booming blade, is it? Because it wasn't specific.
On movement.
It's movement, but is it
So
your turn?
he can get up. What's up?
No, but is it your turn, or because it says end of turn or something?
It's end of my next turn.
It's end of your next turn. Okay, that's kind of what I was looking for. So okay, so with that, I mean, you haven't really done anything to. Oh, you did strike it, but he doesn't like Razdar. Razdar is kind of like the most aggressive one in his face at this moment, so he's gonna go ahead and take 2 more strikes at Razdar.
I shit talked him.
I know, but I mean, like, he was in his face. He was like the first one that came up, and he's been landing blows on him. And
I got you.
1 out of like 5.
so what he does first is he swings with his scimitar, and then he goes in and attempts to bite you. So
Yikes.
okay, yeah. So as it strikes across your chest, you're like, ah, and as you're kind of reeling back, he like wraps himself almost around you and bites like deep into your clavicle, and you feel this pulse like as the poison begins to like work its way through your system, and all of a sudden you just feel like very nauseous, like sick to your stomach. You're like, it's not right. And with that, in those last seconds, like you begin to get hazy. You drop to one knee, and then everything goes black. And you guys all see as he withdraws, a little bit of venom kind of coming out of his maw, as his mouth kind of like snaps shut. It's almost like he unhinged his jaw to make it go that wide. And then, pitiful creatures, I will consume you all. And with that, that's your go, Makoso.
Makoso looks over at our fallen guide and will sigh.
Edmund was the guy.
Oh wait, that.
No,
Sorry,
I
I'm
would-
like hyper zoomed
Changes
out.
everything.
Yeah,
I would go back.
Razdar. I thought he was strong. Makoso is actually kind of disappointed that he fell so easily.
I mean that, like, you've been in many a battle. Like, this guy is pretty tough. Like, this is a very tough enemy. I mean, you're good at sizing things up. He doesn't seem very damaged at this point.
Yeah. Don't actually mind much. Makoso is gonna take a step forward. Well then, let's take a swing.
Nice. All right, that's a hit. Let's go ahead and roll damage. So 8 as you
And hex.
in the side of the temple. The creature reels back.
And hex damage.
Seemed to be a fairly
And
solid blow. With that, it kind of like unhinged its jaw, and then he like popped it back into place. And you see there's a bit of blood dripping out.
As Makoso connects, he calls out, "The strong protect the weak." Bam! And that will be Makoso's turn.
All right.
What are your rules as far as using stat checks during battle?
Stat checks and like.
So I want to use insight and see whether the orc is actually hiding anything from me or not. When he told me that he doesn't know what the creature wants.
Yeah. If you want, yeah, go ahead and roll an insight check. There are certain, like, if you were really pushing, but that's insight's kind of more of one of those things where you're not actively doing it. He seemed.
I believe him.
I mean, you've never met this guy before, but he seems awfully terrified of whatever this is.
Okay.
And now it didn't cost an action or anything. It was just,
Gotcha. I am going to shoot a firebolt at him. The lizard.
Okay. Nice. Roll damage.
Ooh. Oh, it doesn't come with damage.
Got to set it on your sheet. To auto.
I don't remember. I think it's D10.
Okay, so here, I'll help you out. So what you want to do here is in the chat bubble, you see like where 19 and 21, and then underneath that there's a firebolt. You can actually run your mouse over that and click it. I normally have all my character sheets set up.
Oh, look at that.
But I got a new macro that automatically makes character sheets, and it doesn't have some of the options I normally have on there. So anyway,
nice.
yeah. So you, poof, you guys can see the health auras, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Yes.
that's the representation of how that person's doing.
So more just gets us an idea kind of how
Yellow.
they're looking after beating them up.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, you could tell like in a battle, like if somebody's beat up or if like they haven't really sustained much.
Okay, I can see it.
All right. So with that, Razdar, go ahead and make a death saving throw, please. Okay.
Oh wow, that's
Success.
cool. Succeeded 1 of 3.
Edmund.
Alright, seeing Razdar go down. Again, this is why I hit the fucking swamp. I'll blow a breath his way. It's my last first level spell.
All right. Razdar, you pick back up. You have 6.
Just hears a whisper in his ear. Get the hell up.
You actually, so in 5th edition, you drop to 0, you don't get negative health. So when you heal 6, yeah, you're at 6.
Cool.
So you're
Okay.
still, you're
Okay.
prone on the ground, and you're still, you were unconscious, so on your turn you can kind of stand back up. Alright, would you like to move or anything, Edmund?
Nope, I'm going to use my action because that was a bonus action to attempt to. Nope, not to do nothing.
Okay, go ahead and do it again. Make another attack roll.
Oh god.
Okay,
Nope.
so that's not enough. So, Makoso, like, there's some flame that begins to, like, erupt kind of by you, and you just barely sidestep. You easily dodge it, but, close call. I'm going to have everybody go ahead and make a perception check now. I would say probably not Razdar, because you were unconscious. You're, like, on the ground in the muck. Everybody else can go ahead and make a perception check.
I'm in the middle of battle.
Okay. All right.
We got nothing.
Perception
So-
is not my strong suit today.
I guess not. So. I used to have an initiative macro. Now I don't know if I can easily do it. This one.
Oops.
So just for ease, I'm gonna say that they both go on the same turn.
Oh, there's another one?
So. All right. So. This orc creature, he's just gonna stay here. He's kind of like quivering behind you guys. He doesn't look like he's not armed. Besides, like, he has like a hunting knife. That's all he's got. He's really kind of relying on you here. So do the perception check. Nobody noticed. So you see, hold on here. So with the movements, where's it gonna be at? So kind of from this underbrush. You see one of these things crawl out of the muck and this one happens to have a. Hold on here. This one happens to have a bow, and he responds to in that same kind of guttural language, and which none of you understand. And he takes 2. Razdar, he sees is on the ground. He doesn't think is doing anything, so he's going to take 1 at Makoso and another one at Edmund. So the first is Makoso, the second one's Edmund. Okay, so
I'm gonna shield.
okay.
That doesn't hit me.
So as you, it shatters against the shield. It like snaps the arrow as it just goes off like 20 feet in the muck, and Edmund like just no problem. You kind of lock eyes just as he's shooting, and you are able to like Matrix style. This guy here at the top can't really do anything, so he responds back to this first one in that same guttural language, and then he doesn't realize that Razdar is actually conscious yet, so he's going to go ahead and make a round of attacks. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to do a scimitar, and then he's going to attempt to bite you, Makoso.
Okay.
The shield will still be active because it's for the round, I believe.
Right.
So,
Okay.
there we go. Oh, wow. Okay, so...
Am I just dead?
Holy poopies. Okay, so 7 plus 17. So
That's
So the-
24, right?
that's 24. So the first one strikes across the shield, and it just like it like scrapes across with like this weird, almost like nails on a chalkboard, and it goes and you see this thing unhinge its jaw and lunge out towards you again, and you kind of catch its maw just barely with the shield, but the teeth are so long that it sinks in and it hits you right in the side of the neck, and you again feel this as the poison pulses through you.
That was my concentration check, by the way.
Okay, on what? On Booming Blade?
No. Hex is concentration.
Oh, right.
Booming Blade is not concentration.
Yeah, correct. So Razdar, you kind of see that as Makosa kind of comes to his knee for a second. He's like, he like gets back up into position. All right, Makoso, your go.
Oh, that was... Whew. Makoso is going to look at this thing that just bit him, and let's do bonus action on it,
Okay.
and I will curse it, and I will swing, let out a guttural roar of just anger.
Yep. So that's a hit. Go ahead, roll damage. Okay. Nice. So +2, so you do 7.
That's 13 total.
The 1d6 is you don't have hex though,
Huh?
right? Hexblade.
Yeah.
Hexblade's curse. You gain bonus to the damage, so you get a +2 to the damage. So it's 6 + 2 is 8. Your actual hex you lost.
No, it's not a concentration spell or anything. It's just a thing.
No, not the hex. The nexus.
Yeah, the hex that you had cast on him, you lost concentration on hex. So you don't get the extra d6.
No, I didn't.
Just did.
No, I made my con save. It's half of the damage you took, or 10, whichever is higher.
Right. Oh, do you have advantage?
Yeah, I'm Warcaster.
Oh, okay, that makes way more sense. I was like, dude, you rolled 5. Like, okay, okay.
No.
That makes way more sense then.
Sorry, bud. Yeah.
My bad. It's first go, so I don't
Yeah,
really
no,
know everybody's stuff. So
Yeah, I'm
11
saying
minutes
sorry
and
because
15.
I just assumed I assumed that you would just know everyone's character sheet completely inside and out on the first session, which is a little ridiculous of me.
Okay, so you do that. That seems to be a heavy blow as this thing kind of like staggers back a bit. And it's like it's beginning to go side to side, and like it's fairly bloody at this point. So that was the
Excellent.
action. Bonus action. Do you wish to move or do anything else?
Nope. That's all I got on me.
All right, buddy.
I hope I live.
And your turn. Felix, you're up.
All right. You said the perception check was to see the other snake dude over in the corner, right? With the bow?
Correct. Correct.
Okay, so I don't see him at all yet.
You see him now. It was just to perceive.
Initially.
Yeah, to perceive him initially.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use. Where are you? I'm gonna use levitate on the one with the bow.
Okay. So conceive blah 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 blah. So what is he? He's the guy with the bow. Is you did it 20
He needs
feet
to
up in
make
the
a
air?
concentration. He needs to make a
Constitution.
Constitution save.
Okay.
Yeah, Constitution saving throw.
He has advantage. It doesn't matter. It's a 10. Okay, so he's like begins levitating, and because like he doesn't even have legs, it's like really awkward for him. He's like begins muttering in this guttural language.
Are there any trees or anything that are above him, or is this just kind of open sky here?
There's a fallen tree that he was kind of like slithered over and through the branches, but there's no tree like right where he is, like that's
Okay, gotcha.
erect, if you will.
Okay. And then I'm going to move. Kind of. How tall is this rock here?
I would say that rock is probably like a 10-foot tall rock, maybe
Okay.
like 8 feet.
Okay.
So you have to like
then I
hop,
move around,
scurry
over
up
to this
it,
side.
whatever. Yeah.
And there we go. I had to figure that out.
Okay. So Razdar, so you're on the ground. You've come to.
All right. See, I'm gonna have my movement stand up. Maybe try and catch this guy unawares. Give him a hard right hook.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, you're kind of like swiping as you're standing up, and you don't have quite a lot of momentum.
Yeah, I got one key point left. Flurry of blows.
All right, buddy.
There's one.
Okay. 13 does hit. Okay, go ahead and do the second one. Okay, so and then the second one misses. So go ahead and roll damage for the one that hit, and then whatever sort of saves.
Yeah, do the pushy thing.
Yeah, I'm
Get him
gonna
away
push
from
him this
us.
time. Do a
Guys.
strength saving.
Oh, can
throw.
you dunk him into the river?
I can push him 15 feet if he fails the strength saving throw.
Okay.
Which he should still have disadvantage on, right?
No, it's checks.
Yeah. If he actually has anything magical, he has. It doesn't matter. They're rolling really poopy on their check. So
Nice.
yeah.
It's okay.
Dude,
You crit
so-
me for a million.
So moving in this way, 1, 2. So okay, so you kind of come around and boom, enough that it, knocks him back like 1-inch punch style.
Let's see. I've got my movement.
Yeah, it took half of your movement to stand up, so you only have half left.
I'm gonna come stand 10 feet this way, kind of near to this guy.
Yeah, this guy's like 20 feet in the air right now. Kind of
Just waiting to fall
awkwardly
down.
like, what am I doing here?
I'll come here and stand at kind of like the midway point between them.
Okay, great.
Right there.
All right.
Okay. Position in here is a little weird for me. For said this rock is about 10 feet high, right?
Yeah, 8 to 10 feet high. It comes up to like a peak.
I'll move behind it. Am I still imbued? I could throw something at him. I think I am, right? I
Yeah,
can look past
Felix. Felix is short, so like, yeah, no problem.
Cool.
All right. Okay. So, as the flames lick over its body, here, you can see this thing is just like, it's writhing, like it's not dead, but it's like you can see it's just, again, just writhing kind of in the muck as you've set it aflame.
Cool.
All right. So this guy, he's especially seeing the second one, he's just gonna start running away.
Can I call out to him?
You can call out to him if you wish. What do you say?
I told you to stay put, fool!
And he just looks back with like a look of like, no. And
Hey, good luck to him on his own.
yeah, he runs one full thing. Who's the fool here? Don't want to be caught dead with those things.
All right. If he refuses, that's all I'm saying.
Okay. So there go. Yeah, so this guy, he's not prone, right? He just got knocked back.
Just got bit.
Okay. But this is difficult terrain in this square, so it takes him 10 feet. Alright.
Booming blade.
Alright, go for it. Any amount of damage. So as he writhes about on the ground, he looks like worriedly, and yeah. So as the energies that are kind of coalescing around his figure, he's like, and he mutters something in this guttural language before attempting to slither away. And right as he does, these energies kind of coalesce, and you put your hand out, and as it literally, poof, it's almost like an implosion, and you see his like his chest cavity just kind of like with a hollow like sound just cave in, and he and just
Excellent. I regained 4 HP because my curse target died.
okay. So this guy who's hovering in the air, he is now kind of like found his balance a little bit, and he's like precariously, he draws one arrow. I'm just gonna say for flavor that the first one has disadvantage, just because he's getting used to it, and then he finds his steady in the second one. So he's gonna go ahead and
How high up is he now?
he's 20 feet in the air
20
right
feet.
now. He can see Felix and Edmund, though it's not like the best shot. You guys do have cover behind the rock. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to take one shot at each. He's going to take one at Razdar, one at Makoso. So the first one we'll say is Razdar, and that's the one that has disadvantage. And then the second one will be Makoso.
Get wrecked, Mikoso. Just
So
kidding.
oh yeah, so the first one is like a nat one. Like you seriously, you just like, you snatch it out of the air.
I was planning to do
I'm gonna-
reflect missile. Don't even have to.
Yeah.
I'm
And then the
gonna-
second one, yeah, it hits you.
I'm gonna
Makoso.
shield because I don't want to die. That's my last spell slot too.
Can I deflect missile to catch his missile?
No. Unfortunately. Especially because he's 20 feet up, so it's like... I would say maybe if it was like a straight line, but he's got like a... Actually, he's got a good vantage point. So,
Why did we levitate him?
It's all in the plan.
it's part of the plan, Alright, so I'm going to keep this guy alive as the... because he's tracking the turn order for both these guys, but he's actually dead.
Oh, okay.
If I put him to 0, it'll remove him from the tracker. So, bada bing, bada boom. Koso, your go.
Bonus action, I'm going to transfer the hex over.
Okay, you got it.
And...
Emperor's New Groove is on Netflix.
Oh, that's sick. I can't reach him to friggin' do anything to hammer him.
Throw one of your swords.
I'm not throwing my sword at him. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, range is not my forte. So I point with my hammer, and a burst of energy comes from it and kind of goes wide. Ugh.
There's nothing around, so it's like it doesn't even crash into anything. You just see the air kind of like deform, and it's just like it dissipates.
Oh.
All right, you may
And-
take a movement or do whatever you wish, and then it's Felix. Felix, your go.
I'm gonna step up to him. I don't know if there's a plan or anything, but I want to be able to hit him if he drops.
All right, man. End turn.
Oh yeah, I need to hit end turn.
Felix, your go.
I'm gonna wait. Actually, let me look at that spell. I don't know if I can rotate him or not. Levitate.
Just remember, you got two people over here that are mostly melee that can't
Oh, I
do
know.
anything.
Don't you worry. All right, I don't see anything about rotating them, so I'm guessing that's
would
not
say-
really a thing.
I would say yes.
Or can-
I would say you
Okay.
can as part of the thing. It's an action though to like move right after you've done it.
Yeah.
So,
So
I'll
my
say
plan
even
is
if you
to throw
rotate,
'em up
it still takes the same amount. You're just rotating instead.
I was thinking rotating them while throwing them up another 20 feet.
Get that sick fall damage.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can do that.
So I'm gonna rotate him so his back is facing the ground, and I'm gonna throw him up another 20 feet. So he's now 40 feet in the air. And I'm gonna yell out, "Go grab the orc."
Yeah, he is a full move off of the map at this point. He's
Oh
just,
no, I'm not going to get him. I'm calling out to the. Oh, you said he's off the map, so I don't.
he's actually
Yeah.
because he dashed, right? So he is one
Oh,
full
okay.
movement off. Like he just took off running.
Never mind, I missed that portion then. Yeah, so I'm going to
Forget him.
forget him. Yeah, I'm gonna maybe I'll move up by you guys here. Why not? And then I'm gonna end my turn. I suppose I have to hit a button, don't I?
Yep.
I promise. Once we get used to it and it's smooth, it goes a lot smoother.
What's the range on a dart? I can throw darts at him.
It's 20, 40, I think. I think it says on the dart.
He's 40 feet up.
I can just barely hit him with darts.
Yeah, if you're directly under him, yeah.
It's 2060. So yeah.
Oh.
So you have the range to do it. It's at disadvantage though.
Well, is Felix gonna drop him at any point?
We'll see.
Potentially.
Because he's just gonna keep shooting at us, and we're just gonna
not-
die.
Pushing towards me anymore, so we have to shoot behind his back.
Like he can play his character however he wants to play.
I know.
B,
I'm just
C,
saying.
C, A. All right, so yeah, you want to make an attack with your dart?
Yeah,
Go
sure,
for it,
why
man.
not?
It's at disadvantage because it's in the disadvantage range, but you have that range. Yeah.
Let's see. The dart is a simple weapon.
Yeah, you can actually pull it from the compendium if you want to add darts to your thing, to your sheet real quick, and then it'll allow you to like click it.
Yeah, say it. Never made a weapon.
No problem. So many screens open right now.
DM live.
All right, I got you, Boo.
That's the only added proficiency.
There you go, buddy. 10 darts.
That was with disadvantage. I assume that hits.
Oh yeah, buddy. Do the damage. All right, nice. So yeah, especially because it's like turned around, so you just the dart sinks into its side, and you see it like reflexively move to the side. Recoil, if you will. Edmund, your go.
Right.
Cool. Cool.
Oh, my bad.
Ah, shit.
So it's now 40 feet in the air.
Come around.
How do I delete a proficiency?
By the
I
way,
use the little lockbox.
grab my concentration on that. I don't know why I was still concentrating on it at all.
No problem.
And then I really do the only thing I can do right now.
Okay, yeah, that hits. So as it's kind of like, oh, it takes a dart, and then it gets covered in flames.
And then that's it.
Okay. So, this thing. So just because it is kind of like an invertebrate.
Invertebrate.
Yeah, invertebrate. Yeah. I'm going to say it can bend back to shoot because it can like bend all the way back, but it's definitely a disadvantage, like all day, because it's like a weird, awkward thing. So the first one is at Razdar, the second one is at Makoso.
Double crit.
Okay, so I believe both miss.
Praise.
All right. And then Makoso, you go.
Makosa's gonna look at Felix. Is he going to be coming down? Is that the response that I get?
Oh, I suppose I could respond. It's not going to be right after me. What goes up must come down.
Is Felix a leprechaun?
All right. In that case, ready in action for my boom blade when he hits the floor, you know.
Okay.
And hey,
Him up another 20 feet, and then I'm going to yell up to him, if you don't die, you better be ready to talk. And I break concentration on my levitation.
It's gonna be an oof.
Okay.
So 60 feet, 60-foot fall.
I thought it was 80.
He was already at 40. I threw him up another 20.
Oh,
Yep. And then you break concentration.
Yep, so he's coming down.
Okay, very good. So, you can go ahead and roll your damage here, because I assume if you're readying an action and he comes down, I assume you're gonna do this stuff.
Yep. Is he gonna be prone when he lands? Is he? The
Yes.
snakes land on their feet.
No,
I guess we'll find out.
I would say he's definitely prone.
Okay.
Let's fall damage in 5e.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
There you go. So 19 plus 13 is 32.
Okay. Yeah, not looking super great.
This guy's a tanky motherfucker.
All right.
Whoa, skip me.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Razdar, you go, and then Edmund.
Don't worry. We'll see if we can end it here.
Punch him in the head. Punch him in the head.
Is he prone? Or is he not?
He's prone. Yeah.
Alright, I'm just gonna like drop to a knee, but on his face.
Oof. Oh,
Nice.
that's my dude.
Ouch.
I mean, it still doesn't do much because low level monk, but
You'll get there.
All right.
that's 6, right? That would be my turn.
Yep. And not looking super great. As you like, poof, like right on his neck.
My turn?
Yeah, Edmund, your go.
Alright. Well, seeing everybody gang up on it, he's on the ground. I guess we will do it this way then.
Kick him under up. Kick him under down.
Pull up on him, drop my scimitar.
It's now the scene from Office Space.
With the fax machine.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Call, bro. Swipe at him.
Nice. It has advantage, so go ahead and do it again because he's prone. Just in case you get a crit.
Crit.
And no. Okay. So you do 4.
And I'm done.
All right. So this, with his kind of last, I suppose his last thing, he mutters something in
Surrender?
this guttural language, and no, just straight up, go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Who?
Makoso.
Good.
Mm. Aw, nope.
Teddy bear.
Okay, so he goes ahead. He's gonna take a bite at Razdar and a bite at you. He lunges out with 2 bites. First at Razdar, the second at Makoso. So it does hit you, Razdar. So that's 4 plus 7 is 11. And then the second, he goes to strike you, Makoso, and it's just like doesn't find purchase. He has Booming Blade, correct?
Yeah, so if he tries to run, then he's
Yeah,
gonna get booming bladed.
Yeah, he's still gonna try anyway.
Did he get up from prone?
Yes.
Okay. Slash roll 1d8 slash roll 1d6.
Tax of opportunity, right?
Oh yeah, all day.
Attacks of opportunity.
Do you still get the hex? You don't get the hex damage on the on Booming Blade, do you?
get it?
I'm going to hit cast. You could read it.
When you hit it with an attack.
Oh, and hit with an
so
attack. No, I don't.
Hitting it with the
My bad.
attack was that
6.
Yeah, so it's 8,
So
and then you hit it for. Okay, so
and I get a what do you call it? Attack of opportunity.
yeah, that's fine. Edmund was enough to do
Yeah.
it. So you
Oh,
see the
what?
energy. you see the energy coalesce around as it boom, it does that thing, and you hear a couple of like audible kind of like gross and wet snapping sounds as it again just reflexively kind of like goes to the side. It attempts to slither away slowly, and Edmund, you just come in with the scimitar. How do you want to do this?
Who?
Edmund.
Oh, sorry, you cut out for me a bit. As he tries to run away, Edmund is just gonna kind of tuck his scimitar, and as he's running, just like a quick slash, like for somebody, like he has really long limbs, so it flashes like a whip, and the Yanti is still like slithering away before his body, like the top half of his body falls off the snake part, and the snake still wriggles a bit, and then falls the other way.
Yeah, you see some as all of its as it becomes bereft of any internal liquids.
Ew.
A couple seconds of like this. It's kind of like this purple Icarus substance is its blood, and then it pools and begins to congeal and run off. Edmund, you kind of like you step to the side a little bit so it doesn't get all over you. And with that, combat is completed.
Holy shit.
Makoso kneels down next to Razdar and will his hands will glow, and he will place them over the fallen Dragonborn's chest and will lay on hands for 5 points.
All right. And just with that, before we go any closer, like you reach down, Razdar, you feel this warmth and you wake up. And with that, we're going to take like a 10 or 15 minute break.
Cool.
Come back to the aftermath. All right, y'all.
Good job, everyone.
Yeah.
Good job.
Wake
It's
up,
good.
Silver.
It wasn't so terrible that you made you didn't make Edmund do what he didn't want to do, which was wild shape. But it was also difficult enough to be entertaining. Nice. You're getting good people.
I used all of my spells, and Makoso and Razdar almost died.
Well, I
Exactly. But
Almost
everybody's
died
alive.
twice.
So it's hard, but not impossible.
I'm
Those are my
squishy.
favorite type of attacks.
I have
Yeah.
low HP and a melee.
All right,
Nice.
y'all. I'm cutting it.
All right,
Completely, or did you
No,
say?
no, no, no. We're going to break.
Break.
I'll see you in like 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay.
It's PP
Cool
time.
beans. Bio break.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite type of game there.
I like to throw people on the ground from the sky.
I'm like, why can't I do anything? Well, it's because I have Produce Flame instead of Magic Stone. That's why. Which allows me to add my Wisdom modifier for damage, which will give me pretty much a guaranteed +3 as well. Yeah, it gives me a guaranteed +3 where Produce Flame doesn't. The only thing about
Dang.
Magic Stone is that it only scales with your modifier. So you don't get like a additional +6 like other cantrips. It literally
Right.
stays in 1d6,
Well,
the
that
attack.
stinks.
Which sucks.
All right, I'm off for a minute.
Cool. One d6 plus your spell casting ability. Fire. Gross. Good fight. Good shit, bro. And that's how rolling nat 6 on an encounter goes. Every time. Every time. See.
What I miss?
No, just saying that's what happens when you roll a nat 6.
What's up?
Just saying that's what happens when you roll a nat 6 on your encounter. On an encounter. Get shit
What do you
like
mean?
that.
A nat 6.
A nat when we move we roll the 1d6. Shit like that happens when you roll a 6.
What, deadly encounters?
Yes, actually yes, every time. Yep, every time. So, gotta roll that every time we move a hex.
Jeez. I don't think I could take another one of those without dying, just so you know.
No, it's fine. Plus side, rarely do you roll a lot of 6s in a row.
I'm a frontliner, so
Now that I've said it, we're gonna roll a whole bunch of 6s in a row.
I'm the frontliner. You sit in the back line and you say, "Oh yeah, deadly encounter." Who cares? Cause you're nice and safe in the back line.
Yeah. If I wanted to get hit, I would have made a barbarian. Just saying.
Friggin' wizards, man. I think we need to take a short rest, by the way.
Yeah.
Or your two frontliners are gonna fall over.
Should probably sit and
Probably.
use me to die.
I'm very squishy.
What?
I'm very squishy.
Yeah. You can use a key point to like dodge as a bonus action, right?
Yeah. Or take a
Good.
defensive.
It makes you like surprisingly tanky.
Or something.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
something like
I'm sure at level 20 it's tanky.
that. Not happening.
So you on T, huh? Friggin' snake people.
Freaking effing snake.
So is
Bite.
anyone gonna
I'm in
feel
your
bad
sheet,
about
by
that
the way.
work?
I'm in your sheet, Razdar.
Oh, that's you?
My sheet?
No, Razdar's sheet. I'm changing everybody's stuff so it does what it should.
But there was like a ghost in my
Uh,
sheet moving my page.
There
Exhaustion.
is. Ooh.
There's exhaustion on her now? Nice.
Yes. I don't know why, but by default it's turned off. But I wanted it turned on. So one thing that's changed, Rick, is every
Yeah.
time you fall unconscious, you take a point of exhaustion. That's how I'm handling
Oh, shit.
the up, down, up, down, up, down.
You die after 6 of those, right?
You die after 6 of those.
Uh-oh.
so he has 2 levels of exhaustion?
And they give you other effects. There's a handout that explains it, but you
Yeah.
can type exhaustion into the compendium. But
Yeah.
I
Oh,
also
I've
have-
read it. I've read it.
I also have
Exhaustion.
this set up. Hold on here. I have ammo set up, so it should auto consume these. Whoa. It's all funky. Oh, it has darts. Darts is the ammo with an S. Alright, there you go. So, one of your darts is no longer, just because the implosion of the booming blade, it like snapped the dart, so you weren't able to recover it.
Sorry.
I think that's good for that.
So we kind of need to long rest, or Rezar is going to be useless.
Yep. Or, well, I don't know, long rest.
What's up?
Long rest or short rest?
Long. You have 2 levels of exhaustion.
That's true.
Well, not you. Rezar does. That's what I meant.
No, I got it.
So, does anybody care about that orc? Because I don't.
Nah, not really. Maybe he'll make it back to that town.
Maybe he'll die in this swamp, like he deserves.
He'll make it back to the town and tell people that he saved them. And then we'll come back and I don't fucking
Oh, I hope he makes it back to town, because Mikoso is gonna, like, beat him in public. I don't know what are the local laws about, floggings?
flogging random people. Pretty sure it's against the law without the right authority, my guess. I mean, unless you take them deep into the swamp, then matter, I guess.
Mikoso's gonna, if we find him, Mikoso's going to the local authorities and finding out if he's allowed to, take his justice.
What my shit.
Yo. The strong protect the weak. In return, the weak obey. I'm not evil, I swear. Dylan keeps trying to tell everybody that I'm evil.
They're slowly but surely accumulating dark side points.
It's okay, Darkseid has the best powers.
Such as
Force
Flog.
lightning. Oh, yes, flog. Force flog.
Force flogging.
That's gonna be in KOTOR 3.
Better be.
Is everyone back now? I just got back.
Nope. We are missing Dylan. I know, it was a joke.
Nothing but crickets back there.
I like the ambiance.
Me too.
Oh, I don't have mine turned up, so I can't.
Whoa!
Alright, that was one hex, guys.
Oh my god, kill me. We're long resting, right?
I'm gonna have to sleep for about 30 hours to sleep all this poison off.
And the friggin' druid and the wizard are like, I don't know what you guys are so upset about. We're just fine.
You're fine.
Oh, we're good. I'm feeling healthy.
I think it takes doesn't it take 2 long rests to get both exhaustions off?
Yup.
Like you have the long rest, and that's 1 point down, and the long rest again, that's the second, if I recall. Is that how that works? I think that's how that works.
Yes, I was I was stuffing my face with foods. So I'm
Ooh,
starving.
nice.
So I was kind of like listening to this whole time, but stuffing my face.
Oh, that's not weird at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people never eat. Super weird.
I
What
meant
is-
the listening.
Just
You
listen
meant
to
the
it.
getting stuffed part.
Yikes.
Ouch.
Wait, we're not even out of the friggin' main road?
No.
Zoinks.
Nope.
Yeah, we moved 1 space.
No, we
This
need
is
to
why
go back.
this is why I shouldn't roll, but I wanted to get my roll off first while we were close to 10. Because
To
I knew
be
I was
fair,
missing.
because there is a chart and you can roll beneficial things on it, but every time has been for Rick has been a deadly encounter every time.
Yep,
Why are we letting Rick roll?
because I
Yeah.
have to roll
But
eventually.
Roll.
Rick rolled us.
Boo.
He's never gonna let me down.
Nope.
He's letting the party down with that friggin' deadly encounter.
I'm,
Never gonna
I
give
was-
me up. Either.
I was fine.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're boom. Okay, and we're back.
Back where?
Back. As in I'm ready to go. We are back. Plus I stream. So
Hi, stream.
yeah, there's like a person.
Hi, person.
I'm not even gonna lie. I think the most I've had is like 8 people at one time. Like there's fucking 8 people watching me right now.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm like,
Watching
oh,
all of
okay,
us.
that's pretty good. But usually it's like 1 or 2. But it's mostly just like I like having the videos. It's super useful. Like if any one of you miss a session, you can just be like, oh, what did I miss? And I'll be like, go watch the video, or like skim or whatever.
I tell you, nobody's ever gonna
YouTube page
watch
and everything.
this stream because it's at the same time as Critical Role.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely.
I don't watch Critical Role. I feel like I'm the only one.
Boom, 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 boom.
It's because you are.
I don't think
No,
you're the
no.
only one. I've seen it. I don't necessarily watch it.
That and the one person that's currently watching.
Correct.
You're the only 2.
New Bob's Burgers. What?
All right, y'all. You ready?
Ready.
I'm not after that.
Okay,
Let's do
so
it.
Razdar, you feel this warmth come over you as you and you come to. You look around and it seems that everything is still. You hear the chirping of birds, the crickets. You hear the sounds of the swamp, and that's it.
It looks like I was in the river when I went down. So when I wake up, I'm gonna sit up. I'm gonna see Makoso around me. I'm thinking this water is not actually too bad, and I'm gonna lay back down. I'm just eyes open though, but I'm just
Music.
resting.
Yeah, it's like mucky, so you're just like like back down into the mud.
Feels good.
Gross.
It feels good to be awake.
Makoso sees that Rezdar is up and not dead. Good enough for me. And he's going to stand up and look at the Yuan T corpses.
Which you don't actually know that they're Yuan-ti.
But I know that they are.
You know, but your
Okay,
characters-
Makoso goes to look at the Snake Man corpses.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Like, are you searching around for like stuff, or you just want to like look at it?
I just want to look at them and see what they
Okay.
are. I see they're snake people.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like a mermaid, but like snake, essentially, and quite a bit bigger. Um, so they have like snake head, pretty much a man torso, and then it goes down back into snake body. Um, and they appear to be like just very lightly armored, like kind of like hides and whatnot. Um, but they are kind of like a um, deep forest green color, and on the underbelly, it's kind of like a more of a, I don't want to say a golden color, but like a lighter
Mustard.
tan. Yeah, or yeah, maybe like a
Hmm.
like a dull mustard or light tan color on the belly. And these creatures appear to be fairly weighty. Like they're probably bigger than the average humanoid in terms of like weight, just especially with the snake parts and whatnot.
Is anyone in the party around me?
Yeah,
Yes.
literally
I am.
everybody is right around you.
I'm standing over your shoulder looking at it.
I look over my shoulder and say, I think they were mad because I eat his cousin. Just completely deadpan.
I go over and give the snake a slight little, just like a tap on the head with my foot. I kind of wanted to talk to one of them. Thanks, guys. And I kind of walk back a little bit.
Because that was the perfect situation for talking. Psha. So, do we want to take a piece of this to show? I don't know his name, but what's his face?
Any unique identifiers on them?
Cut their head off.
Yeah,
Just take
they
the whole
have
head.
Oh, I mean, go ahead and do an investigation check. If you're like
Oh,
I'm
because
gonna
I'm
them
very
around.
good at that.
Felix can go check at the one that they're not at.
Sure,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
go ahead and make
that
an
one.
investigation check. So Makoso, very easily, like you're looking over and got some. The one you're looking at, which is closer, has a longbow, and it has and it has minus what it shot, so it has 13 arrows. In the quiver. Um,
Ooh.
it's the quiver functions. It's not like the best quiver, but it's not bad. And these all appear to be like fairly well made arrows. And it is mechanically speaking, it is a longbow. Also has a scimitar on it. This one has one. Felix, you see, like you just kind of kicking it around. Again, these creatures are very heavy, so with your size, it's more like you're pushing into the muck than lifting it, and you're like kind of digging around. And you see this one does not have a bow. This one has two scimitars on it, and you don't see any other like defining. Like it's a snake, so there's not a lot of pouches and stuff, if you will. There is like one sash that kind of like goes around, like right where the man torso kind of ends, um, and in that you see like some sort of like herbs and whatnot are in there. You're not really quite sure what they're for, but you don't really see anything um, of value except potentially the weapons that it had on it.
Am I able to roll a nature check on the herbs?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Do you have
Oh shoot, I don't.
like knowledge, like a kit, like anything like that?
No.
I
Okay.
have an herbalism kit.
Okay, so you can just recognize from this, they obviously these are a type of plant that grows around like a swamp region. Go figure. And they can be used to make a salve. You kind of like put a little bit on your tongue and you're like testing it out. These can be used to probably make a salve that would help speed along some healing processes. Um, it's kind of like if you had an open wound, you put a glob of it on. You like soak it in water and stuff.
All right, I'm gonna take that along with me.
Okay, so you can say that you have 2 doses of these herbs.
Alex So if I can have that longbow and those arrows.
Looks at the bow. Looks at you. Nods. Makoso doesn't think that that archery is particularly noble.
No, I get it.
I'm gonna get to work at a tooth.
I was
Yeah,
gonna do the
go
same
go
thing.
ahead and if you guys want to take it, whoever wants one, go ahead and make a medicine check.
Can I give him help?
Yeah, we'll say so he'll make a medicine check with one or the other can aid. It doesn't matter.
I was just gonna smash him out.
Okay, so you smash it out. Go ahead and roll a 1d100. Okay, you smash it out. You only get like maybe a third of the tooth. The rest of it just snaps off. There is a bit of venom that's on the tip that just like slowly oozes out, and you kind of like shake it out.
Oh, that's not good at all.
So go ahead, Edmund, and make a medicine check. Not at advantage because his participation was smashing it. So after you smash it, he's kind of like, "No, man," and he goes in there and like not a problem. He carves perfectly around the root of the tooth up in the gum, and he like wiggles it just right, and he has a perfect fang.
See? Finesse over strength sometimes, yes? Wrap it in.
Makoso extends his hand.
As in like a handshake? Yeah, maybe.
No, as in palm up.
I'm confused.
You took the tooth. You extracted a tooth. Makoso is extending his hand, palm up.
Mm-hmm.
The universal sign of place it in my hand.
I'll slap his hand like a 5. Yes, good job to you as well. Walk away. No, I'm not. You have your tooth.
If you there's another one that has 2 more fangs on the other side if you wish to try for that.
Yeah. We'll test your D100 on that.
All right, let's try again.
So if you're smashing it out, just roll a D100, and if you are trying to take the time, okay. So this one you get about like it's a little more. You get like half the tooth, but again, it's not very clean. You're taking a hammer, to this thing.
Let me know if you need my assistance.
I've knocked out a couple teeth before. I know how this goes. It's good enough for me though.
Okay. So you can mark down 2 broken teeth O snake people.
I'm gonna try to take out the other one
Absolutely. Go ahead, make a medicine check.
just to see.
Yeah.
Meh.
Okay. You do manage to get it, but again, you get kind of like half a tooth. It's like you're right there, and just at the very end, it does snap. There's like a crack that runs all the way down the tooth.
Shit. Do you want this one?
Look, it's in a little better shape than yours. Like not a whole lot, but it's marginally.
I already have mine.
Very well. Wrap it up and put them up.
All right.
So, do we rest or do you want to keep moving?
So Felix goes over to Makosa. And he's like, I was thinking for I don't know, how do you say that, Makosa? Keswatu?
Yes, Kiswatu.
Okay. For Keswatu, you probably would have sided with that snake person back there.
Makoso is surprised at the sound of his clan name. You know the Kiswatu.
And do a little bit of research here and there. But what happens if someone enters your territory?
In our territory, you follow our law. These beasts were not following their duty. The strong do not have right to the weak by virtue of being strong. They have duty.
What if the orc was an unwelcome guest?
That is not what the snake said. The snake claimed right to all. Right is earned.
All right. That's how you see it. I walk back over and jump into our cart.
All right, very well. So, you may move to hexes today, or you may rest. It's up to you.
We should probably break for lunch.
That's what you guys were pretty much like just about to do when you heard all this go down. So now, like with the battle, and then like we're harvesting teeth and blah blah blah. It's probably closer to like 1 o'clock ish.
Yeah, break for lunch. Can't
Cool.
just charge on.
All right.
Bodies need fuel.
So Edmund,
Yeah.
actually, I probably don't know his name yet.
I would say he would have
Oh.
introduced himself.
We introduced ourselves to each other.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I guess we were on the road for a little bit before we got attacked.
If you say Elf, he'll answer anyway.
Right. I ask Elf.
Yes.
So you look like you're quite familiar with this area.
He actually a frown actually comes across his face as he looks around. Yes. I grew up around here.
So what do you know about the road going to the northeast?
That is a great question. DM, what do I know about the road going to the northeast?
What you know, a lot of the basic stuff that has already been said. That it's dangerous. People usually travel light and few, so that way they can move faster through it. Like there's creatures in here. There's gators. There are trolls that live in the swamp. There are rumors. It's more like folktale stuff about things like the Fae that are kind of involved. Like people just go missing, or it's more of folktale stuff than any sort of proof. And then with the lizard men, but again, that's something where lizard men haven't been spotted. It's just again like a tale that people tell their children to keep keep them from misbehaving and things like that. Other things include sturges, which are giant mosquitoes. Essentially, there are other like more plant-based, sort of aggressive plants that are in some parts of the swamp. It's hard to say like because the swamp is always competing. All the organisms are always competing, so you never know. It could be one, it could be several of those. It's hard to tell, but you certainly have at least a better eye and a little more of a background here, so you know what kind of creatures may be there.
Okay. That's what I say.
Okay. Would you be able to go fetch us some food then? Find us a nice little critter running around. Bring that back.
Well, since I'm your guide, I guess that would be my job. So, sure, I will do this for you.
Thank you.
What do I gotta do to find? I got some food or some rations. I'll take the bow and arrow I got, and I'll use Mask of the Wild to kind of blend into the terrain and hunt.
Okay. So go ahead and make a survival check, and we'll say that are you guys resting here for the day, or is your plan to move?
We're on a short rest, right?
Yeah, you guys can go and take a short rest. It will take the full time of a short rest at least for him to come back with anything. He's gonna like go out and try and find something for you. So go ahead and make your survival check, Edmund. Nice. Okay, so it doesn't take you that long, Edmund, before you kind of come across a little cesspool that has some crayfish in it, and you're able to gather several of those. And kind of in the midst of, if you're like, okay, you grab 2 or 3 larger ones, and you look over and you see a, there's a like a snapping turtle, and you kind of, yep, fuck it, you scoop that up too. Um, and just with that, you don't encounter any sort of like super aggressive beasts, but you have a decent handful of meaty creatures that you could use.
Nice, nice. Buy you like go on down eat that crawfish on down there. Need that gumbo. Guarantee. All right, cool. Now I'll bring it back.
All right, and so it takes about the time of their short rest, with everything in the conversation stuff. So at this point, it's like 2:30 ish.
Short rest.
Yep. So anybody that's doing short rest stuff, do your short rest stuff.
Roll hit dice.
It does not automatically deduct the hit dice. I haven't figured out how to make it do that yet, like it does with the
Yeah,
spell slots. So you'll just have to manually do that, because when you take a long rest, you get half of your hit dice back. So if you burn all 3 of them today, then you get half of your level, and I always round down for anything, whether it's creatures, players, whatever. So you get 1 hit dice back when you take a long rest. For now, until you level up.
I never chose my.
It's all good. I did my hit dice.
Yep.
I subtracted. So wait,
So it doesn't automatically heal you, so you gotta update your stuff.
I did. So Edmund didn't get a short rest, right?
Correct. Edmund did not, because he spent that time getting the food. So that's enough for you all to not have to use rations for today.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I'm gonna gnaw on whatever he gave me, just sitting in the back of the cart with my head up against the sidewall or whatever it is that it's built like.
Okay. So you do that. So by the time the short rest is over, whatever, like I said, it's about like two. We'll say it's like 2:30 ish. Yeah. So what do you wish to do? Are you staying put?
Makoto, I was gonna say Makoto accepts the gatherings graciously. Tells Edmund that you have done your duty well.
Yeah. We'll
Thank
say
you.
by the time, like, if you're cooking them and preparing them right now to eat, it would probably take like an extra hour or so. Get a campfire going and stuff. So
Are we waiting again? Or are we just doing this?
Well, that's what
quick
I'm
and
saying.
dirty?
You could either wait until like you're doing like your evening camp sort of a thing, or you could set up a fire and do the whole thing now and eat them. I'm leaving it up to you because I don't know what your guys' plan is. If you want to push on farther, or if you are like you're just calling it.
Are we still
I would like
in
to push
the?
on.
I look over to the. What was that? I look over to the group. I say, "Are we gonna push on?"
We can. I can cook this as we go.
All right, Darius, let's go.
We have duty. We should go.
Okay.
I think we can.
Okay. So go ahead and move another hex, and we'll have Makoso
Oh no.
roll the d6.
Oh god.
Get a 6. Get a 6. Get a 6. 6. 6.
Ah! He's moved the hex. You can't even see the hexes very well in the stupid swamp. There it
Just
is.
zoom in.
I did. Okay, now I have to roll a d6. Oh, please don't be another.
Okay.
No.
So not eventful at this point, just because of the nature. So you guys took the rest. It was like 2:30. You didn't cook the stuff, so it's about supper time. You know, it's probably like about 5:30, or coming up maybe on 6 o'clock ish. You could push another hex today, and it would be like dead of night, or you can stay and set up camp. It's up to you.
Traveling at night is dangerous.
And you see this is where the trail is starting to get bad. Like it's just you're on the cusp of it going to true swampland.
I can see quite clearly, so we can keep continuing if you want.
Torches would make us an easy target.
Oh, wait, I forget. You're human.
Yes.
Unfortunately, kind can't see in the dark.
It's probably
No,
not best
we
to
cannot.
leave at night. The swamp is dangerous enough during the daytime.
Guide, I think we need a fire going.
Sure. As we stop, gather some sticks and snap my finger and boom, fire.
All right, bada bing, bada boom. So, yeah, no issues. You do that. You can really feel it now, Razdar. Like you were knocked around pretty good. You can still feel the very lingerings of the poison. It's worked its way out of your system, but it's left you feeling just tired and drained, and still a bit queasy. So you all settle down, create camp. Yeah, and you do so. You don't have to spend rations for today because of the food. So go ahead and do your water. So you guys do
How much
like
water
a
do we
water
have?
skin. However much you brought in a water skin. So a water skin lasts you a day. I would actually say that you're fine for today because I would assume like you would have had enough water when you were in town and then filled up your water skins. So I'll say you're fine for today because it's still the same day, but tomorrow. Okay, so
Cool.
anybody taking watch? Anybody doing anything? Any sort of protective barriers? Anything like that?
I'll be, since I don't need to actually sleep, I'll probably be on all the watches and just doing light.
Makosa will take a first watch anyway. before it's too dark to see.
Okay. Sure.
Felix is going to rest in the cart.
Absolutely.
Star will be passed out somewhere.
Okie dokie. So go ahead and first watch. Go ahead and make a perception check, either separately or one aiding the other.
How do you want to do this?
Are you very good at perception?
Well, I got
let's just
pretty decent.
let's just just go it alone. See how it goes.
All right. Do it to it. Of course, I'm going to get worse. That was just a bad roll.
Okay. So, as you guys are looking out, the sun has now crested over, and you see just like this dull kind of auburn that's slowly fading into violet and like dark navy blue. You hear like a in the distance, and maybe like 80 yards or 80 feet off, and you look over and as a bird flies off.
Is it a colorful bird?
No, make a perception check.
Can I just use the 12 that I rolled?
I
Or
would
that one?
I would say as you kind of like hone in on it, you're like, oh, what is that?
Okay.
So yeah, as you're looking at it, it's like a gosh, what kind of things are in it? They have fucking eccentric things, don't they? In a swamp.
That's right.
A swamp.
It's just
swamp,
that it's
swamp,
nothing that I would have seen growing up.
It's kind of like a. I can't remember. Can quails fly?
Yeah, they can fly. They don't stay
Yeah.
flying.
Yeah, it's
long.
kind of like a. Yeah, it's you see, it's kind of like a larger bird, and you identify it as a quail. It's a kind of like it doesn't go that far. You can actually see with your perception as it goes like, half a dozen trees down, and it lands on another branch, and it perches and it kind of like looks at its surroundings, and perches on there.
Interesting. Felix. Wait, I thought Felix was with me. Sorry. Edmund, you're from around here, right?
Yes.
What kind of bird is that? And I point at the bird.
Said it was some type of quail-like bird, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I tell him it is. Is it?
Is it good
Pretty-
game?
I mean,
Yes, you
it's
did that.
meaty enough. Quail. It's kind of gamey and stringy, but I mean, it's meat. It does the trick.
Yes.
How far is it?
At this point, it's probably about 120 feet or so away.
Oh, I thought it settled on around.
Yeah, it went like away from you. It was about 80 feet off to begin with, and then it flew away from you.
I should think one day I would try it. And that's all. That's all that he'll say.
Okay. And it passes uneventfully. So, is somebody taking second watch?
I thought we had a perma watch.
Oh, he does. I didn't know if like there was a second person that wanted to do it or not.
Oh, as it gets dark, Makoso can.
Okay. So, Edmund, go ahead and make another perception check. Okay. Yeah. All seems to be still in the swamp. You hear a couple of like you're hyper aware. There's like creaks and cracks and sometimes random like squelching or bubbling noises, but nothing that you identify as anything large, anything more than normal critters in the swamps. And with that, your night passes uneventfully. So you can go ahead and remove 1 level of exhaustion. You guys have a long rest, so you restore all your spell slots. Blah blah blah. You get half of half of your hit die back, which it's just 1 right now. Yeah, and if you hit the on your token, there's a long rest button, and it'll automatically reset all your spell slots and stuff.
Oh, really? Let me take those down.
Yeah, and it'll fill your health back up. It doesn't, however,
Nice.
do the hit dice because I'm lame. But actually, I think maybe it does. I think maybe it does do the hit dice. You'll have to check. You'll know how much you used.
Subtract them by 4. And I didn't use it. Yeah, it does it by 1. Yeah. It does it automatically. Cool.
There you go.
I use that.
Smart.
Hey.
Forgot to do it when we started.
So you're
Alright.
telling me you could have made that crit not kill me?
Yep.
A 3 and an 8.
Ooh, that's good.
Those can be used very well.
Somebody's gonna get booked.
Those are very yeah. Enjoy your 3 saving throw.
What, you wanted to stay on the ground? Bye.
Alrighty, guys. So you can go ahead and your speed
Where's the X's on our map?
Your speed
Sorry.
is no longer halved, I believe. I think 1 level of exhaustion is just the disadvantage on ability checks.
Correct.
Okay. So you can move at normal pace. It is slow going because of the nature of the terrain, so you guys can move a total of 3 hexes today.
Can I, as we're going through, use Mold Earth to make the terrain not?
Like it helps, but it's not enough to. It's not enough to make it not difficult. You know what I mean? It's like because after this is what the point where the road pretty much ends and it's like solid swamp. Like maybe it helps you, but like the group as a whole.
Yeah, sure. I'll say my footsteps are solid ground.
Yeah,
Pull the earth to make solid. I don't know about the rest of you, but
yeah, and it gets real thick as it's like each time you walk, it's starting like there's just mud and whatever the hell just seeping right in and through you at this point. So we're gonna start with Felix and then Razdar, and then the cycle begins again. So go ahead and move the hex and then roll a d6, or move the tracker to the next hex and roll a d6.
I was gonna say, where are the X's on the map that the guy drew?
Okay, so they were. That's a good question.
In the morning, too, I just spent my time reading through my spell book, trying spells.
Okay. So we'll say just because he marked it here. There we go. I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be small. There we go. So he marks those two where he knows are kind of like difficult areas. So we'll say that's kind of what you're coming up on right now. So the first area, you are where you think he's talking about, and go ahead and make an investigation check. Somebody make an investigation check with advantage because everybody's helping.
Not me.
I have disadvantage anyway, so
Shouldn't have been me.
All right, so no traces, no traces of any sort of caravan at this location.
I think we just need to keep looking.
All right, so Razdar, go ahead and next hex. Roll your stuff.
Please no 6.
here we go.
All right, there we go. So, so go ahead and technically, on this hex would be the second hex. So go ahead and make an investigation check. Somebody with advantage.
Nose
Ow.
goes. I'm not doing it again.
Not Felix.
Mine suck.
Nice. Just roll it again because people are helping you. So, okay, just in case you got that 20. No, that's good enough. So actually, you do stumble across. You find this overturned cart in the muck. It's maybe 30 or 40 feet at this point, dragged off of, if there is really a path. And you see it's kind of like half sunk into the mire here, and there doesn't appear to be anything else around. It's just this cart.
Well, is there anything in the cart?
Yeah. Go. I'll use the first investigation. So you come up on the cart, and yeah, there appears to be quite a bit of stuff in here. You see what looks to be quite a bit of stuff that they must have traded, and you see some textiles. So there's a small bit of, like, again, cotton and silk sort of textiles that you see. A lot of them are kind of like dirty and saturated with this muck, but there's some good stuff. It's like in larger rolls or sheets, and then you see what look to be sacks or crates of other things. Upon opening them up, you see what looks to be some like swamp-esque kind of potatoes and onions and stuff. You see some other produce. You see some mushrooms. You see like things that people have foraged. They must have traded for some of these things. You do happen to find here. Hold on. For some reason, my roll 20 is just real slow. Okay, you find a satchel that has some coin in it. 13 gold pieces, 27 silver pieces, and 93 copper pieces. It's not a terribly large, it's like a side coin purse. You don't see any traces of people or beasts of burden here. But you see another crate of what looks to be like tools. There's just like a bunch of odd and end stuff. Like they had brought this large package up to see what could be traded and brought back.
Does it look ransacked?
No, It doesn't appear like they really touched much of the goods that were in the cart.
Can I search for, I don't know, maybe some kind of trace of more of the snake guys?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and just make a separate. I'm like right on the line between like, is it survival? Because you're like right out in the middle of the swamp. Um, yeah, you know what? Go ahead and whatever. Either survival or investigation, whatever is better for you.
Also, speaking of the snake guys, considering my character's like background with like studying like monsters, would I like have any clue what they are?
Sure, go ahead and make a history check.
Not that I found anything, but
Yeah, so it seems like the the swamp has settled back. There's no sorts of like footprints or like slithering marks or any real cues to. You don't see any sort of bodies. You don't see any sort of signs of struggling. Everything's settled back to what it was. Um, and you, because of your background, like you've heard of like similar kind of folk stuff like that, of the lizard people, but you don't really know anything of them per se. It's just kind of like you're like, oh, I think I've heard that before, sort of a thing. Almost like a deja vu, sort of. All right. So you found the cart. Um, Go ahead, Rick.
What's up?
I thought you were going to say something.
No, if I found
No, that was me, Felix.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say I'm just sitting in the cart, not wanting to get my boots mucky.
Right. Your cart's not terribly large. So you do have to kind of get out of the cart if you're loading your cart up with that stuff. Unless you're just leaving it all behind.
So how much was the guy offering you guys in gold? Anyone?
75 gold pieces he offered.
Do you want to extend our journey a little bit and gather the stuff on the way back? I hear there are ruins farther to the north. I'm sure there are more riches up there. We can see a showcase of Makosa's strength. I chuckle a little bit.
Why would we need to go to these ruins?
I hear there are things that are interesting up there, things that we can gather. It's probably worth more than 75 gold. Plus,
Artifacts
we
of
can see-
power?
Potentially. I'm not quite sure.
The weak man can wait. I will go.
You will go to the ruins?
Makosa repeats, the weak man can wait.
Ah, now I'm speaking your language. What about the rest of you, dearies?
I would say be very, very careful walking into the ruins like that. You're even less safe than the swamp. But
Well,
if I don't guide you, you'll probably die. So I'll go with you.
then let's pack up what we can from the cart for rations and food and be on our way. Was there anything that looked edible in the cart?
Yeah, there was like a whole crate that was because the crate was fairly protected. That was
Okay, I
all
thought you were
like
saying it was swampy,
um,
so I was just checking.
yeah, it was all like edible. It was like onions and kind of other like starchy roots, vegetables, um, things of that nature. Certainly things that you could eat.
Well, I'm gonna grab a few days' rations of it and put that in my backpack, and I'm gonna ask the rest of them. Would some of you taller gentlemen help load this in the cart for the rest of the starchy foods and stuff?
Makoso will lend a hand.
Okay, so you take it out and there's kind of like a suction because the cart is like half sunk in the mire, so it's like as you have to like pull out like the very bottom corner of it, and then you boom, you put it onto the cart and like slide it to the back.
How big are these boxes?
They're fairly large. I mean, I say fairly large, but probably I don't know 3 feet or so cube.
So pretty tough for a little 3-foot gnome to carry.
Yeah, like if not the weight, just the awkwardness of your physique against the dimensions of the box.
All right, I try picking one up. It's not really going anywhere, and I whistle over to Makosa. Take this one as well.
Makoso will agree.
Okay.
Lift.
And which one are you taking? You're just like taking more of the like the vegetables and kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say for the sake of brevity here that you you load up all the stuff, like all the vegetables. There wasn't like that many. It wasn't an overwhelming amount anyway. So you have a couple of crates of edible goods, and you're leaving like the other stuff, like the textiles and you actually see there's like a crate, and inside one of the crates, this one is more sunken in. There is like tools. So there's like just basic supplies that people would need, like basic hammers and nails and shit like that.
I'm gonna grab a few of those. Well, I'll point at those ones too. Since I can't.
Makoso will continue lifting.
Okay.
Strong boy.
So you throw
Is
those
anyone
in.
interested in the rest of these boxes? Because I care not for them.
We can pick things up when we return.
Yeah.
All right.
You can
well,
also
let's-
see at this point too, because it's mucky. There's the cart is slowly beginning to sink.
Well, that's our cue, boys. Let's go.
So it takes a little it takes a little effort to get that momentum going. Until eventually
That I can help with.
you pull. Yeah, we'll say that. Yeah, that's a good where you part it so it kind of comes back up on top, and then you begin your trek. So I will say just because of the slow speed, you can move one more hex for today.
I think it's what Edmund's turn.
Yes, it is. We're going towards these rooms, right?
That is actually a town. You would know that. That's a town. The ruins are north of that town.
I wasn't scrolling far enough.
So I let them. I'm gonna talk to everyone and say we should probably head to town, get some more resources before heading back up to the ruins.
Resources. If we
Well, I
were
suppose
going
we
to
have everything we need, don't we?
if
Let's
we were
go.
going to return to a town, we should return the items.
That's the other way, though. We'll go up to the ruins. Skip town. For now.
So go ahead. The next one is back to Edmund. Okay. So uneventfully. So it is 12 o'clock right now. So you guys settle down. You get your camp good for the night. I'm just gonna have Rick just go ahead and roll me 2 perception checks for your watches.
I'm on the first one as well, so I'll roll. Can I actually?
Yes. Okay, so luck is on your side. Yeah, pretty uneventfully. With Edmund's savviness in his home turf here, he helps guide you around areas that would otherwise be potentially dangerous. You guys managed to find a good spot, like where the ground kind of comes up, and it's more like not in the muck as much. It's like in a small island where you guys can make a good camp. And I think that's where we'll end it. So the next time we'll wake up and you guys will be on your way.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, that was a good first sesh.
Very nice.
That it works.
Yay!
Yeah, and we'll be hopefully a little more set up next time. Not so much complications here in the battle. I don't know if I'm going to enforce the timer or not, because like it depends on the group. Sometimes I have to, and sometimes I don't have to. You know.
How
So
long?
it was
How
set.
long is the timer?
It was set to 2 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like people were falling behind, but I think a lot of it was like, oh, like how do I click this, and it wasn't quite working right, and that was some of the issue. But I also don't mind a little bit of like like you're RPing during the battle. That's fine. I just don't want it to take like a million years for essentially when there's the people that they don't know how to play like their character, and it's which is fine, especially like in the beginning, but if you've been going for a long time and it's still the constant like, okay, man, you gotta, or the people that want to be the perfect tactician, and it's like it's in the heat of battle, like yes, maybe your character would have more insight, but you'd only have 6 seconds to think about it, so gotta draw a line somewhere.
Right.
So,
Okay.
all right, y'all. Yeah, good time. Well, I'll see you next week.
Seriously,